not beautiful. It's. I mean, it's a. When did it come out? 97.
Great year for gaming in general.
Great year for me. My little baby brother was born that year.
Wow,
that was good for you.
Yeah,
I thought kids usually hate it when they get siblings.
No.
Would you rather have your brother or the Tiger Gamecom?
Can't play video games on Justin.
There you go.
Sorry,
and
bud.
you can't access your emails on Justin either if you have the optional modem attachment.
Mm-hmm. Although I can unlock his phone with my voice.
Your voices are that similar?
Yeah, I can use Justin's phone.
Nice.
Our voices are
I'm
that similar.
Justin.
Hey, Siri.
Dick pics galore, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I figure.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Hair of the Dogcast, your favorite podcast about beer and video games and Gamecom and Gamescom. My name is Brad. The Hair of the Dogcast is part of the HyperX Podcast Network. Go to podcast.hyperx.com for more information about all the other amazing content on there. I'm Brad. Yes, it is true. I am Brad. Who else is here?
It's me, Dylan. I'm here.
Fuck yeah, I love Dylan.
I've been playing games, guys.
Dude, this guy's a gamer.
I've been doing it.
Back in the saddle again.
I thought I was up early this morning playing games, and then I got little notifications like Dylan's on. I'm like, must be Xenoblade again.
No, Cult of the Lamb. I'll be talking about it.
You started another cult?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, I hope this one really makes the grade.
Leader or follower?
Leader, duh.
Dylan doesn't follow.
No.
I even said, hey, Dylan, let's go to another bar. He's like, he walked the other direction out of spite.
Well, you make more money as a leader, but you have more fun as a follower.
I don't think that's true at all.
You get to
either.
have sex with everyone's wives.
A smart man once said that. That was Creed Bratton from The Office.
I was watching the documentary about like the leader of the crazy Mormon people, and he's like going to Disney World and watching pornos and stuff and taking everyone's money.
That Keep Sweet and Obey documentary.
yeah.
That guy's a fucking creep.
He's like, we're going to Disney World. Give me your money.
Most of them are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, after your 30th wife, you have to start questioning, maybe I'm the bad guy.
Yeah. Honestly, like, marriage is like, you got to put a lot of work into a marriage. So why would you want 30 marriages? That just seems like it's destined to fail.
Well, when your religious doctrine specifically makes them adherent to you.
Yeah, that probably nips a lot of arguments right in the butt there.
A little bit.
Bud or butt? What is that phrase?
Bud. Nip it in the bud.
I don't know where that comes from. I think it's
like a term about flowers and reproduction, I think.
I've been saying butt. How long
nip it
have
in
I
the
had?
bud. Is it about like weeds before they grow or something?
That makes a lot more sense.
What's your name?
It's just a guess.
I'm Tyler.
Oh, okay.
I'm Tyler, and I am present.
Present. All here reporting for duty. I motion we move forward with the podcast.
Here, here.
Here. We have 3 eyes and no sense of shame at this podcast.
No.
0. Left it at the door.
Let's talk about the news.
All right, we got some news.
We got news?
Started off with something that would have made me very upset a couple months ago, but is no longer going to make me upset.
Okay.
The PlayStation 5 is getting a price increase.
Not
In the United
markets.
States. With inflation being it's the usual bitch that it is, Sony is raising the price of the PlayStation 5 in Europe, the UK, Japan, China, Australia, Mexico, and Canada. There will not be a price increase in the United States
Because they know
yet.
we wouldn't deal with it.
They know Americans are fickle idiots.
Yeah.
We would freak out.
And
Well,
it doesn't go.
We'd start a civil war if someone tried to do that.
Yeah.
Japan also doesn't have the price increase until the 15th of September. So
If they can get their hands on it, I just don't understand.
They're not putting more consoles out until September 16th, though. So that's the real trick there.
and in wake of that news, Nintendo went on the record and said they are not going to follow suit. They are not increasing the price of the Switch, and Microsoft doubled down on the same. They are not increasing the price of the Xbox.
Well, they're making so much money off their hardware. If Mario Kart 8 can still be one of their best sellers, you've already kind of won.
Well, pretty soon they're going to go to the Wii U fountain and run out of stuff to just bring up. Like, just give them more tracks, I guess. We need to just get more money.
I would still shill for a Metroid Prime trilogy on there.
Isn't that allegedly coming?
Allegedly, I think they're going to wait about 6 months before 4 comes out and then have it as like an appetizer.
And then in 7 years, it'll be on sale for $55.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And I'll have to get it because it's the biggest sale it'll go on.
I feel like this is going to be a real dick punch for Sony because the console's already really hard to get as opposed to the Xbox or obviously the Switch that has been out for a while.
How bad do you feel as someone like, I know not you specifically, but like even like consider like a kid whose parents don't buy them a ton of crap, and they like mow lawns to make money, and they save up for exactly the tax amount that they need.
And now you got to do like 4 or 5 more yards over the course of the next few weeks.
Yeah, exactly. In the hopes of getting it at some point.
It finally is available. They have the money saved up, and they show up, and it's $50 more.
Yep.
And they're like, it's my son's birthday.
And Uncle
and then they
Ron's
stab someone. They
Uncle
go and
Ronnie's,
rob someone. Yeah.
Quote unquote, Uncle Ronnie's not going to cover it for him.
Or dad's like, life's a bitch. This is your first life lesson.
Oh yeah, wow, that is a very shitty dad move.
But guess what? We found the Google Stadia for pretty cheap.
Woo!
Which I was surprised to find out a game we're talking about later is coming to Stadia. It's still a thing.
Has the well not dried up on that?
I read recently that they were thinking about shutting that whole thing down.
Yeah,
that's where I heard the rumors were like a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Well, I was on my research today. It says coming to Stadia still for something.
Wow.
We'll talk about that later. But
in other news,
I'm just on the record. This is a bad move, but Sony has already sold so many PlayStation 5s. They're so far ahead in this console war right now. I think they'll be fine. Yeah. But it just feels like a dick move to not do it in North America.
Yeah, it's they also.
I'm thankful for it. I'll buy one eventually.
But it's like
3
fuck
years
the rest
after it comes out. God,
it's like fuck everybody else except America.
Don't want to piss them off. Other news, earlier in the week, it was rumored that Amazon was going to buy EA. And now, according to, and Brad and I were talking about this just a minute ago, so it might have changed. But what I read this morning, CNBC had somebody reporting that that's not going to happen. David Faber is his name. And he said, quote, "That's not going on." All the while, Amazon spokesperson said that they don't comment on rumors, and EA declined to comment. To me, this feels a lot like Disney buying everything, and I don't like it, and I think it sucks butts.
Yeah. It would be a really strange thing to happen. It makes me feel uneasy when all these places get swallowed up by others. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's one thing if, like, you hear Santa Claus bought Mattel. You're like, okay, Santa Claus is someone I trust. But this isn't Santa Claus. This is Amazon, who I already despise that I need to buy things from. Buying a company that I already loathe. I mean, I don't know if EA could be worse if they were owned by Amazon, but I don't like that Amazon is trying to... I mean, I see Amazon needing their own console soon enough. And yeah, because they don't want other people to be making money if they can get it.
Well, it'll be weird if it does happen, because Amazon is currently trying to get streaming rights for the NFL so that you can watch NFL games on Prime. And then they would also own the exclusive license to the game. So it would just sports, like streaming and game-wise, they would be stacking cash.
Yeah.
So I would hope that they would have some sort of investment in the product to where we would see an improved sports simulation game, because as everybody knows, I'm a big Madden fan.
Yeah.
And it's been really shitty that we haven't had a good one in a long time.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I know Netflix was trying to get into gaming for a while, although nobody uses it.
Yeah, I read an article about that. And apparently there are some decent things on it. But do you play it with a remote control? What's the deal here?
I think any Bluetooth controller can kind of
if you
hook
got
up
a
to
stick, or is it?
I think you need a stick.
See, that's why it's not happening. Most people have it right on their television now. If they have a smart TV, which most TVs are, if you bought one in the past 5 years, it's a smart television. So you don't need this extra stick to help with controller inputs. I had a friend, like more of an acquaintance, but he texts me about video game stuff every once in a while, and he's like, "Hey, can you recommend a good controller for like Apple TV?" And I'm like, "Dog, I don't know. Like, look up reviews. Like,
Google it.
Get yourself a Mad Catz.
Yeah, exactly.
I got one of those like boomerang looking PlayStation controllers. It's fourth generation quality.
I'm just like, I can't help you with this, and I don't even know what types of games are on there. So, good luck, I guess.
I did read that Amazon does give games for free. In the lead up to the Lord of the Rings series that's going to be coming out, you can get Shadow of Mordor free for the PC, and there was another game, but I'm forgetting.
Those games are $4
Assassin's
right now
Creed.
anyways.
But this is $4 cheaper for your PC.
Okay.
Wow.
Side note, Neil Gaiman has spoken very highly of the Rings of Power show, and he says he's very excited about watching the rest of it.
It's out right now, right?
It comes out September something, I believe.
It's soon, but he said this is everything I wanted when I read the Silmarillion and didn't understand it as a child or as a young man.
I want to say it's mid-September it comes out, which is an interesting choice for a release date, knowing that House of the Dragon is also going to be airing. Obviously, it won't be the same time slot, but it's a lot of fantasy nerds are spoiled
it should
at the
start,
moment.
If they were smart, it would start 15 minutes before House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have no interest in either.
House of the Dragon's very good.
I was really impressed by the first episode.
Okay.
I've never seen a show refuse to pull punches on proper nouns so hard before. There was 30 proper names and places listed in 4 sentences, and I'm like, sorry, Carly, I know what's going on, but you are fucked.
Yeah. I watched with my brother and my roommate, and Devin wasn't following. I mean, I was like, you just got to give it time. 2-3 episodes in, you'll start gaining your ground. Same thing happened with me with Game of Thrones because I didn't read the books.
I'll give it a shot tonight.
George R. R. Martin is a great author, and after the debacle of the end of Game of Thrones, he wouldn't agree to take my material unless everything was really locked down this time. So, and luckily this is all written, everything that's going to happen already. So,
okay,
yep.
Well,
it's not like a Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them prequel status.
Well, yeah, the secrets of
Inside Dumbledore's
Daenerys.
Closet, Part 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to. I strongly believe that those films were made just because J.K. Rowling really wanted Dumbledore to be gay. Super wanted it and was like, I'm gonna make a whole story. Just do it.
I think a lot of the fans were interested in this time period because there's a lot of offhanded comments and stuff. From my understanding, I've only read through the books once, so I guess fans really wanted to see what this was like. But I don't know. They hire a zookeeper to be their secret agent. I don't get it.
He's got a stick bug, though.
And
He does, and it's pretty cute.
He can go inside his suitcase.
Which is something that literally every magician should be able to do.
Yeah. Moving forward, we know that development on the Knights of the Old Republic, which is going to be a total overhaul. It's not a remake. They're starting from scratch.
Are they restarting the teaser trailer, too?
So
they're still doing it. Okay.
You remember a couple Dogcasts ago, 2 of the people high up in there, 2 of the developers were fired, and then it got pushed back from 2022 to 2025.
To 2035?
Yeah, so it got pushed back 3 years. Well, now, according to Bloomberg, the game has been taken away completely from S-Sphere. S-Sphere?
I don't know.
I prefer S-Sphere.
Same.
Yeah.
So S-Sphere does not have the game anymore. They are not involved in any capacity, allegedly, and they've moved it to one of Saber Interactive's Eastern European studios, but they didn't mention which one. So they fucked it up so bad. 2 people got fired, it got pushed back 3 years, and then they yanked it from the studio and gave it to somebody else.
I mean, the fact that I've never heard of S-Sphere, what do you know them?
No.
I
mean,
just played a game recently that, don't they have a hand in Civilization or something?
In Civ?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not sure, but...
Let me look this up to fact check it real quick.
Yeah, I mean...
It's just S-Sphere.
A-S-P-Y-R.
S-Sphere, okay. A sphere.
I mean, it was a really nice picture that they showed from the game, so I don't know how it couldn't be good.
Well, wasn't this game supposed to come out in 2003 or something like that? So
what are you talking about? 2003?
The remake?
Were they doing a remake back then?
No.
That's
when it first came out.
Well, I was just a young lad back then, so
yeah.
I don't remember.
You're still playing Gamescom.
Yeah, addicted to it.
Yeah.
So they have made,
Civilization
6.
Yeah, great game.
I love Civ 6.
Yeah, you think it'd be in decent hands then.
Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy.
Well, that's fine.
Oh, no, they were in charge of the re-releases of those.
Like the ports or the remasters or whatever for the Switch?
Just the literal ports, yeah. They did add some graphical upgrades because I remember really loving Jedi Knight 2.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
Yeah, ports. Doing a good port doesn't make you a good developer necessarily.
Well, Civ, they had a lot to work with from the other ones, but Civ 6 is the crowning achievement.
Yeah, and they've been pumping out DLC for that like crazy. A lot of different civies you can play as, and then the 2 expansion packs that add like global warming, and it adds a different
natural disasters.
Yep, and then it adds something to the culture winds. But yeah, so I feel like it's really weird that a game. So you have Star Wars, like the universe is so huge, you could literally make a brand new game. And it would probably be pretty decent as long as you have a good writing team behind it. But the fact that they're trying so hard to remake a game that's already existed and fumbling it so hard.
Yeah, it's not a complex game.
If you're going to start from scratch, just make a new fucking game now.
Yeah.
Like, don't let it die.
Yeah, I have zero sympathy when people go for cheap cash grabs and they fuck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And I guarantee it'd be a 1-to-1 retelling. Just fancier combat.
Yeah. So leave Star Wars alone. Get to work on Civ 7.
Civ 7's already like almost done.
Let's get that out because I need that in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I got a little bit of beer news.
Okay.
The Milwaukee Brewing Company was bought out by Pilot Brewing. It's weird.
Is it a Pilot brewery or is it Pilot Brewing?
Chicago Pilot Brewing. It's a lot of sources don't name yet who bought it because they're not closing till August 30th. That's when the tap room closes. It's last day.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's a Chicago-based brewery, and I tried to look it up briefly this morning. Pilot Project is a brewery incubator said to serve as a launchpad for startup breweries, offering assistance with fine-tuning recipes, production scaling, business development, marketing, and distribution.
So they help idiots who shouldn't be opening a brewery because they don't know what they're doing by doing the real work, and then like, all right, the car's running, your turn to drive.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I think it's just a real slap in Milwaukee's face that Milwaukee Brewing's like new spot is going to be owned by a Chicago spot. It makes me feel a little gross.
Are they going to get rid of the name entirely then?
I believe so. I don't think it's going to be Milwaukee Brewing anymore because that's what it sounds like with them shutting the doors and then putting out that thank you, we're closing down sort of. Yeah, they put that whole post. I took the screenshot and put it in the Discord.
Yeah.
You can read it in there.
I'll have to get some Polish Moon before it goes away.
Or some Louis Demise.
The OG.
Yeah.
Outboard.
Yeah, I didn't ever love their beers, but I was fond of drinking a lot of them. Like,
yeah, I love the OG.
Yeah.
It was a really nice place to go sit out by the river and watch the boats go by and have some beers with some friends too, because they have that really large outdoor
You talking about the ale house?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ale house itself. Yeah.
The old Pabst.
I was going to say the factory
Factory.
An old production.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I always used to go to because it was closer to my old apartment.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was a little sad for us Milwaukee residents that those fibs are moving up.
Milwaukee Brewing also shot itself in the foot very hard. The deal that they took for that location, where it was like half restaurant and half their tap room, and they weren't allowed to, you couldn't get a beer from the tap room and walk over and hang out in the bar area with it. There was some weird, like, you had to...
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Really? I've never been there.
And then they pissed the restaurant off, and they weren't, like, carrying Milwaukee beer, like Milwaukee Brewing beer there.
Oh, damn, I didn't know all that.
So, and then also, they make soda for some company down south. They made a bunch of soda, and it all went bad, and they've been going through lawsuits with that.
Wow.
There's Milwaukee Brewing's not helping themselves either.
They never should have moved out of that warehouse down by me.
It was great.
That's where it was... That's where it would have been most welcome, I think.
I think they were thriving there. But I don't know. I imagine COVID didn't help anyone either.
No, because they moved right before. Yeah.
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 Yeah, so that's sad. R.I.P. Milwaukee Brewing. In other news, Netflix has decided it will not renew Resident Evil for another season after 6 weeks.
Wow. Which means it got zero viership.
Well, it got one viewer, Dom.
Yeah,
sure.
Dom said that he liked it.
Super fan Dom.
He's like that. It gets a lot of the Wesker lore right in the latter half of the first season. I was like, oh no, you watched the whole season?
You're a trooper, dude.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do in an RV?
It was on my radar to watch. True. I never watched it though. Did either of you watch any substantial amount of it?
I tried to watch it. I watched the first episode, and there were a few like the first 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. And then as soon as they started getting to the main characters and plot, I said, this is not Resident Evil.
It's kind of, from what I understand, they have like 2 time periods that the show bounces between, like pre-infection, post-infection.
It's trying to do a Lost thing.
And I feel like whenever you do that split timeline sort of thing, it gets real mucky real fast if you don't know exactly where you're going.
Sure.
You got to hit your plot points and get the fuck out of the time warp and get to a cohesive story as quickly as possible, or you end up just muddying the waters and confusing the hell out of people, or just losing their attention. Because
I'm somebody who knows a lot about Resident Evil and likes Resident Evil. I didn't even think the new movie was that bad because they did do a fair amount of fan service, but for me to watch it, I'm your audience. Like, all you have to do is some real basic ass shit. I'm like, all right, that's Barry Burton. Okay. And they didn't get it. They alienated me. The same with the Halo show. I'm like, if you would have told me in 2006, 7, 5, whatever, that Halo was getting a TV show, I'd be like, fuck yes. And for me to watch the first half hour of the show and be so turned off that I don't want to watch more of it. But with content these days and the streamership, like the streamer wars, viewer wars, there's so many different platforms that just need people to give them $10 a month and to keep going. And that's why everything is getting series now, because it's not about quality. It's about, we need another Marvel show. We need another Star Wars show, and we need people to keep paying for this.
It's this corporate homogenization of their own platforms. You don't see anything that's like artistically sound anymore. These things go through so many processes of like focus testing and marketing, and they want it to be appealing to everyone rather than finding a core audience that's really going to like it.
Yeah.
Because they think like, oh, if this character's like this, then they won't like it when the character does that. And it's not artistically like good. It's just not, it doesn't ring. It's the reason I've gotten bored with all the Marvel movies. I'm like, they're like, oh, Doctor Strange does this in this movie, but then it goes to this movie. And I'm just like, okay, well,
you didn't see WandaVision episode 7? You don't know what's going on?
And they expect it to still be like these cultural touchstones, and they keep trying to make that next cultural touchstone, but I really think that happens on accident.
Well, one of the good things, though, is that they will just give money to literally any fucking thing. And sometimes a good show gets made on accident.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then something as great as Lovecraft Country comes along, and they don't redo it for a second season. It was like, this is the best thing you put out, HBO Max, in a long time.
Yeah, that really pissed me off.
Yep.
I feel like exactly what you guys said. You have all these streaming platforms that are like just grasping at straws, looking for license that have, a lot of interest or a lot of lore behind them, are very popular. Resident Evil, Lord of the Rings.
They're making a Pac-Man movie.
Yes.
They're making
a live action
Pac-Man movie.
God has truly forsaken us.
God, there is no God. This has been proven because God said, "Thou shalt never make a goddamn Pac-Man movie."
I think it was on
I don't know. I've got a few ideas.
It was the 11th commandment, but he dropped the tablet and it broke because it was made of stone. Yeah. It was on there.
I mean,
there was only 10, I promise.
Yeah.
I want Disney to let me make a Sebulba movie really bad.
Yeah, that'd be great. Don't pull any punches. Make it like filthy, dirty,
fucking dirty and funny, and like just off the walls like races, like Speed Racer 2007. Are you kidding me? And it would be like Sebulba's redemption story after the Punta Eve. Come on, man.
Come on.
And then he'd get to be as racist as you want him to be. And
Dylan would write the script, and then they would put it through their algorithm to see how many people are going to enjoy this, and they'd be like, it would just shred it.
Yeah,
if you made a funny enough trailer, you would have everyone hook, line, and sinker.
I hear Jar Jar shows up in the 5th episode.
A pod racing movie? That's awesome.
That was one of the only good things from the first movie.
I know. I love the pod racing.
Does Vin Diesel show up at any point and talk about how it's all about family?
He's the new voice of Ben Quadraro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, not like that. It's just,
I am Groot.
We're going to stick in the realm of television.
Okay.
And we're going to shift to set photos for the Fallout TV show were leaked and posted on Twitter.
That's the thing I didn't even remember. Fallout has a TV show coming.
They've had it really under wraps, and leaked set photos were posted by a guy named Lone Vault Wanderer on Twitter. Okay. The photos were quickly struck down by the copyright holder and disappeared, but you can still find them if you Google the image search.
Sure.
It looks pretty damn good.
Well, still pictures.
Yeah, but I was really impressed with the way the sets looked, and the vault suits look like spot on. All the vault tech equipment looks very bright and in Chipper yet, so the apocalypse hadn't happened in whatever episode we were seeing filmed.
Okay.
But it was also pointed out by Lone Vault Wanderer. I couldn't find the picture he was talking about, but he points out that it takes place in Vault 32, which would make the show set in New Vegas.
Okay.
Which
I think that, I mean, I haven't played those games, but that sounds like it'd be a good setting to have a show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Plus having Walter Goggins attached to it, I was already going to watch it.
Walton.
Yeah, my bad.
I did that wrong for about 5 years, too.
It's got Uncle Baby Billy in it.
Yeah, just say Uncle Baby
It's got Uncle Baby Billy in it, and I'm going to watch it.
Misbehaving.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's fine.
Did anyone watch the Last of Us trailer? Didn't they get a trailer for that show?
And the last piece of news I got today is lastly, the teaser trailer for the Last of Us TV show on HBO dropped, and fuck what anybody thinks. I think it's going to be great, and if you don't like that, if you didn't like part 2, then you suck.
Oh, wait, we're talking about the TV show.
Yeah, but that was just my blanket statement.
Okay.
It's like 24 seconds.
I love Pedro Pascal.
He delivers that Joel line so perfectly.
I think he makes a cool looking Joel. Like I think that's good casting.
Oh yeah.
Versus a lot of casting that's been going on recently.
Well,
and I think the girl, I don't know her name, but I know her from Game of Thrones. She's great.
Lady Mormont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the actress's name.
I just call her that because I don't know her name either.
Yeah. But I mean, I played The Last of Us for a little while. I didn't like the game when I played it, but
I loved it.
I like the game.
That's my jam. And then Nick Offerman as Gary, I think his name is, from the first game.
Yeah. He's playing Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real divisive casting there. Didn't know how the chemistry was going to work out, but it looks like they figured it out.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting to me because those games are already half movie to begin with. I still don't understand this incessant need to adapt things.
Because there's easy money and they need streaming platforms full of content, Dylan.
Plus, if it's already...
I've become too old for this.
I mean, if Square doesn't start putting out a Final Fantasy VIII anime and a 9 anime and a 10 anime, because that just source it out, throw it on something. But
would I love a continuation of the story of Final Fantasy VIII? Yes.
They would first have to do 5 seasons leading up to it.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what would be real cool? I just beat that game South Park Fractured Butthole. It'd be really cool if they just took that concept and made it a show.
Or you can just play the game.
Yeah.
It already is the show, pretty much.
It is just the show.
Yeah, I know.
It's an entire season's
him, yeah.
worth of the show written for a game. It's cool.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved every second of it.
Yeah, you need to play The Stick of Truth, though.
Currently playing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
I accidentally played them backwards, though.
I don't think you have to worry too much.
I know,
It'll
but...
be all right.
The origin of, King Butthole, or what's his name?
Yeah, King Douchebag.
King Douchebag.
And then he becomes... it's Butthole. What do they call him in this Fractured Butthole? I think they just call him Butthole.
Something like that.
Something like that. But yeah, that's picking through the news and avoiding anything on Gamescom because we were going to do the retrospective, and I didn't want to...
A recap.
A recap. Well, yeah.
I know you're confused because we're doing a Gamescom recap and a Gamescom retrospective.
Oh, boy.
And in my head, I'm like, that sounds stupid but fun. And that's what we wound up doing, yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I'm ready, and that was your news.
Thanks,
I love it.
there,
Thank you.
Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.
And now over to Dylan for the weather.
Well, it's sunny and balmy and...
Thanks, Dylan. And now, reporting live from Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. Gamescom recently happened. I never knew about this. Now, I'm still not used to the fact that like every other week is a convention with brand new trailers and updates. This, I guess, everyone's out of COVID with a vengeance, but
I can't keep up.
I didn't know how big Gamescom was until I looked it up. It is the world's largest gaming event.
I did not even know it existed.
Yeah, in 2018, they had 370,000 visitors, 1,037 exhibitors from 56 countries.
Damn.
Yeah, it is the biggest games convention in the world, and it's in Cologne, Germany.
Every year in Cologne?
I believe every year in Cologne, there was a COVID break for a while. I don't know if it was just only online, but yeah. So there was a lot of things announced, and just looking through the schedule confused the heck out of me. So day 0, like before it started, they had a huge Destiny 2 thing. I didn't watch it. There's a new DLC pack. Give us $60. There's a new weapon, a new level cap. I get it. Ooh, there's light. The Lightfall. Okay. There's your update on Destiny 2. It's probably fine.
Riveting.
I don't know. But
Sounds like people who like it.
then they have like the opening day, like opening night. I forget what they called. It's like the opening night live, I think is what they called it. Lots of trailers. And then they had like just studio days the next two where they had more interviews and more trailers. One day was just like an Xbox showcase where they had 6 games. And then they had awesome indies showcase. So they had a lot of trailers, a lot of announcements and interviews and stuff. I sifted through all of them as much as I could. I didn't give enough love to the indies, but I can't look at an indie and know if it's good. Only Dylan can. It's true, Dylan. But
I'm what you're saying. I'm good at judging it.
I'm saying you're good at judging. You know when an indie's going to be amazing just from looking at it.
I can be suckered into things. I have been jilted before, so don't take it strictly.
I remember the first time you said Monster Train, I thought it sounded dumb, and then like every person I respect their opinion of talks about how great Monster Train is. I'm like, Dylan knew about this before it was big. Mm-hmm. But so I made us a nice little playlist. If anyone wants to look it up, it's got all the trailers we're going to talk about. It's on the Hair of the Dogcast YouTube, which we don't use often. Everything's automatically posted there, like for our audio podcast. But just imagine you're not having the YouTube play in your car. But if you want it, it's on there. It's just called like Gamescom episode. But the only one I didn't put in the playlist, I'm just going to briefly mention, Dune Awakening had an announcement.
Yeah, Devin was telling me about that.
I'm not a big Dune guy, and it didn't show any gameplay, so it didn't really strike me as anything great. There was a guy in a desert in a big grabloid from Tremors.
Wearing a still suit.
Yep, and it's an open world survival MMO.
That really upsets me. No thanks.
I'm with Dylan there.
I'm interested. I liked the new movie.
The new movie is good.
Yeah, so I'm interested, but my expectations are low.
What are you going to craft in this game? Because most of the time it's just literally people looking for water and recycling water through their pea suits.
What if...
Maybe you find like a pea fountain.
Or they could... How do you make sandstone?
Lightning and sand.
There you go. Or like Minecraft, you just burn the sand and it turns into glass.
Ooh.
They could make windows.
It's a survival MMO. I don't know what that even means.
So it probably means something like Ark Evolved or even like a Minecraft like. I mean, all these survival games are essentially the same. Build fire, then food, then shelter, and
build babies.
Who knows?
If you want to play a good survival game, just play Don't Starve. I love Don't Starve. That's a fun one.
People really like that game.
Yeah. It's good.
And we might be covering that next year for Indie Games Month.
That would be super cool.
But so Dune Awakening's happening, but the first
bad title too. Ugh.
Yeah.
People got to get a little more clever.
What if they called it Dune Zero Dawn or something great like that, or Horizon Zero Survival?
Horizon Zero Survival.
I don't know.
Far Scope. It's just like a title that blends into the background like every other game these days.
Dune New Dawn.
Dawn of a new Dune.
New Dune.
Or they could just call it Dune.
Dune, Where's My Car?
I think that's better. Dune, Where My Car is good too. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Dune, Where My Car.
Dune, Where My Car.
That's pretty good.
A big announcement though, PlayStation DualSense Edge controller. PlayStation 5 is releasing a new controller.
For a game that for a game system they can barely get out into people's hands.
They've sold a shitload of those systems. Problem is, people keep wanting more. But this features a number of hardware and software-based customization options featuring completely personalized controller experience. Ultra customizable controls. You can adjust stick sensitivity, dead zone, fine-tune your aim. You can remap and deactivate specific buttons and adjust individual button sensitivity. How hard you press it will have different things.
Sure.
You can save profiles. Just hitting a button brings up you can change to I'm playing a shooter now. I'm playing this. Sure. I know with Hades, I would probably want to turn off L2 because the number, or make it I have to push it all the way down because the number of times I accidentally summon my companion pissed me off. That's something you could do there.
Right.
You can also swappable stick caps, and you can move out the thumbsticks and replace them.
That's cool.
Essentially, this is going
Thumbos.
to, it's going to, different sizes. This is going to be their answer to the Xbox Series Elite controller, whatever they call it, which everyone that I've talked to that has one says it's the best controller. They love it.
I just wish I could justify spending $180
for
on
a controller.
Yes, I wish I could. At one point I was going to, but
we have no pricing for this yet. We have no release date, but possibly Christmas, and probably around $150 is what, kind of similar to the Elite.
You'll probably get one, Brad.
No. Same reason I don't have an Elite controller. I can't justify spending that. Although I can justify spending $160 for the Elden Ring 8 LP, which I managed to snag. They've been sold out for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a beast.
I'll probably get the new controller if I'm going to get a second controller so that I can play with my brother. Might as well get the big boy controller.
Yeah. The cheaters controller.
Yeah,
but the trick though is with this, you can customize like where buttons don't work. And just make like, here, check out the new controller, and then he won't be able to like jump or something.
Like none of them work, and it's just like, yeah, you're controlling the guy, and you're just playing off to the side. Wow, you're doing so good, bro.
The old switcheroo. Callisto Protocol got a new gameplay trailer. I was not impressed with this gameplay trailer.
I was disappointed.
Did you watch these at all, Dylan?
I remember the original.
So you didn't have a chance to watch all these trailers?
I didn't watch any of these at all.
Okay.
I was disappointed.
Yeah, the gameplay involved largely gravity gunning people close to you and then pushing them away with your gravity gun.
Oh.
Yeah, and the
into like spikes.
Yeah, there's that giant grinder in the trailer, and he kills 3 of the 4 enemies by just force pushing them into the grinder. And the one enemy that's like regrowing its limbs and murking him, that's just the way he kills them. So it was like, is there a recharge? Do you have to take enough like damage to like fill your meat? Like, why not just do that I didn't like it.
And then there was that like sequence where they're going down like a water
and they use
chute.
the same 3 animations
and they
over and over.
Like, avoid these really random poles in the middle of this like chute you're going down. The trailer actually, I mean, what you don't want to do is make people less excited for your games. And Callisto Protocol, you're getting a thumbs down for me on this one.
Yeah, I was really psyched to have like another Dead Space-esque game.
Yeah,
because I liked those games growing up.
I love Dead Space.
My hopes were high, and then the trailer kind of dashed them a bit, so I'm a little bummed.
Sure enough.
They can redeem themselves. We shall see.
Hopefully.
Coming December 2nd, 2022 for PS5 and Xbox. Something that I also noticed with this is they were hyping up a Day 1 edition. And this is a new thing that you're seeing, Day 1 editions for things. Like everyone's doing it now to try and reinforce you have to get things the first day. It's the coolest edition. Here's an extra 2 pieces of art that are printed on baseball cards inside of your box, and you get access to a shirt in game.
You know, if you buy it 2 weeks later, it's still the Day 1 edition because it literally, they have to produce a certain amount of these things, and if you just look around even slightly, you can find it. It's not like they produced more within that amount of time. You can wait for reviews to come out on these things, even if the reviews happen a week later. And you could just be like, oh, okay. Yeah, now I know what this is.
Yeah. And then the number of, like, they're still trying to sell Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is already, like, on Game Pass now. But they're like, Daiichi edition, super cheap. And the thing is, the disc barely works because they had to patch so much stuff in. And it's like getting a Cyberpunk Day 1 edition. It's like, I would prefer the Day 9000, please.
Sure.
Yeah. I want the one that works without an update.
Yeah, like, you got to get this game Day 1 before the patch, because most games have that big Day 1 patch anyway nowadays. So it's like, yeah, play our probably buggy game Day 1, and we're going to give you these game-breaking armors or whatever. I hate it when they do that. They give you like some OP shit right at the beginning of the game, take all the struggle out of it.
Yeah. But give us your money. Speaking of giving us your money, Hogwarts Legacy got a new trailer that showed a little bit of the Forbidden Forest, some new creatures, and dark magic is confirmed.
And my bar went through the ceiling. I was like, yeah.
It looks cool.
It looks very fun.
There is already a large number of things that are pissing me off. The fact that they announced the Thestral, like the flying dead horse that you can ride, pre-order now for the Thestral and another mount. And I was like, fuck you. Like, can the Thestral just not be something people can get in the game without pre-ordering? Is this going to be a DLC things are locked behind? I'm just offended at pre-order bonuses, which I want to talk about in an upcoming Dogcast, but I don't know.
Honestly, I get why they do it, but it's also greedy, and I kind of blame in truth, all of these practices are built on solid grounding of success.
Yeah.
And I actually blame gamers for the most part, because I think your average person, especially someone who's not super into games or not in the know, is going to see all this stuff, and like any dopamine response, they have to be like, well, I want that right now. Can't not have it. Got to look impressive to people. Got to do this. Got to do that. It's proven. Like, it's the reason that mobile games are so successful. There's a reason they exist, and the reason they're going to get more popular, and that we're going to see more of this stuff.
I bought candy bars before Final Fantasy VII Remake to get extra equipment, and I got them. So I'm also that idiot. Granted, at least you get candy bars as well. It's not just buying equipment, but yeah, this bothered me. But yes, the Cruciatus Curse, there's a sequence where a guy tells you can either learn how to do it or I will do it on you. So I don't know. A lot of this trailer reminded me of Skyrim a little bit, like dungeons, and it looked like Draugrs.
Yeah.
And I'm cautiously optimistic, but also Hogwarts has been rubbing me the wrong way for a long time now.
I agree. I do like that this trailer kind of showed a little bit of a darker tone to the game than what was shown in the gameplay trailer that came out, like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
So that made me happy. I'm hoping this story is a little more grounded and gritty than a normal Harry Potter Hogwarts story.
But what kind of skins for my gun can I get?
Yeah.
Because I think I could whoop a lot of the wizard ass.
Can I get a leopard print on my wand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could whoop a lot of wizard ass with a gun.
Yeah. Can I write Big Dick Dylan on the side of my wand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that would make me happy. But yep, so this is coming out February 10th, 2023. And I will not play it day one, but I will play it at some point. I know you'll play it, so I'll just hear your reviews.
Yeah, well, I know Devin and Justin are both going to get it, and those chuckle fucks will spoil it for me, so I'm probably going to be a day one guy.
Yeah. Well, as long as all three of you...
Voldemort.
Yeah, as long as all three of you don't buy it. But you're not even fighting Voldemort in this.
I know.
I don't know when it takes place chronologically.
1800s, I hear.
Yeah, it takes place a ways before Voldemort.
Is this after or before Newt Scamander?
Before. The 1800s.
Okay.
I don't know if it's before Johnny Depp and Jude Law, though.
Is this when they're still pooping their pants and just making the poop disappear in Hogwarts, or is this when they still use the bathrooms?
Wait, is that a real thing?
Yeah. That's canon.
Yeah.
They poop their pants and then
J.K. Rowling did a tweet like, no, they just go to the bathroom whenever they have to and they just make it disappear. That's why bathrooms, there's only one and it's really old. Canonically, everyone in Hogwarts shits their pants, and you need to accept that, Tyler.
And they teleported away.
She needs to stop tweeting. She needs to stop. Someone needs to... Listen, stop. J.K. Rowling, stop.
No,
I know you're a listener.
Whenever I shit my pants, I tell Carly I'm doing a Harry Potter.
She needs... I just keep thinking of that like ad from the late 80s, early 90s with Michael Jordan about the drugs. McDonald's, like, if you're doing... Just stop.
If your friends are pooping your pants, would you?
Just stop.
And the answer is yes.
Well, if everyone was pooping their pants, I'd be like, I don't know. I guess I'm giving free license.
But what are these like level one? Like they have to have a bathroom because year ones are not adept in spells yet. So
there could just be a spell in place. You don't. I mean, it's fucking wizardry, dude.
They make
J.K. Rowling doesn't need to make sense.
It's all like
she created a race of slaves, and she said they liked being slaves. Like she's got issues, man.
None of this stuff really makes sense in most fantasy anyway. They don't. There's no hard fast rules for like their energy levels and
like Quidditch. Even me, like when I was a 5-year-old, like or 9-year-old, whatever the first one came out, I'm like, so 150 points and it ends the game, so it just doesn't matter. The rest of the game doesn't matter.
Yeah, I remember like figuring out that whoever caught the snitch just wins. I'm like, so what are the other people just like playing a pickup game? Are they just like...
Yeah.
So has she ever watched sports ever?
That Quidditch World Cup game, though, back on the PlayStation 2, was absolutely like great. I loved that game.
I don't know.
We're going to take a quick break to hear from some of the other amazing shows from the HyperX Podcast Network, and I'm going to grab another beer, and we'll be right back.
For every episode of No More Whoppers that you listen to, we will send you a 25-cent coupon for participating Krogers. How many Krogers are participating? None, but you're still getting the coupon.
And it's like 25 cents in 1985 dollars.
Right, so today that's like
28 cents.
No More Whoppers. Take that to the bank and smoke it.
On the HyperX Podcast Network and nomorewhoppers.com.
Sequelcast 2 and Friends looks at movies and video games and franchises, one movie and game at a time. Hosted by Matt Bradley Shergi, Thrasher, and Alex Miller, been going since 2009, and we're part of the HyperX Podcast Network.
Class is back in session, and HyperX has the grade A gear you need for dorm life, remote classes, and for schoolin' folks online. Shop the HyperX Back to School deals going on now at HyperX.com to help make your return to student life a breeze. Comfortable cloud headsets can keep you focused in as you cram for finals with some lo-fi beats, and stay productive with lightweight Pulsefire mice, responsive alloy keyboards, and more. Keep your GPA and your KDA high with HyperX products and accessories.
Dylan has made a great save, everybody. We accidentally weren't recording for the first 10 minutes back.
I saw a blinking light. My ADD finally does something important.
Oh, my God.
It's okay. We didn't get in that far. We talked about Sonic Frontiers.
Yep.
Did we miss the milking the cow part?
Yeah, Milky the Cow.
Oh, man.
Tyler's OC character.
Yeah.
I made a joke about how his udders are so full and then he needs to be milked by Sonic in order to run again.
Yeah, I laughed really hard.
Sonic Frontiers has a story trailer out at Gamescom. Sonic is fighting an emo near Funko Pop by the name of Sage. Lots revealed in this story trailer. I think it's going to hold up to the test of time, like all of the other Sonic stories has. We don't know if Sonic will fuck a human, but it is in the past in the Sonic series, so we'll see.
That's right. That does exist.
He at least kisses her, and it's very awkward. But we know what they're implying. We know what they're up to.
We need a secretary to sit across the table just to take the minutes for times like these.
Yeah.
And then we can just have them read it back.
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, yeah, we could just pay someone to read it back like it's in court.
Yeah.
And then Bradley said...
Like, no, Dottie, you have
I'm
to deliver...
super attracted to Sonic the Hedgehog, actually, and
then
I have his body pillow.
And then Tyler said his udders were full.
You're not saying it right. You're killing my joke.
Also, Amy Rose is trapped in a prison. Tyler then said, "This game looks great. I love the combat. Day one purchase for sure."
I did say all of that.
He did.
I did.
The tone might have been different, but...
I might have been jesting, but I guess we'll never know. It's in the Dogcast Lost episode segment.
Oh, true.
And then Dylan said, "What? Big the Cat is in the game, so I can go fishing?" And then we all said, day one.
Day one.
Day one.
It's true.
Yeah.
And releasing November 8th, 2022 for everything. Up next, we have Moonbreaker. You guys heard about this one yet?
No, tell me more.
It's a turn-based tactics game that uses detailed tabletop minis as character models. A concept that I do think is cool because things are trying to emulate it a little bit anyways. Just embrace the tabletop aspect of it. That's
something I can actually get behind. To actually literally gamify the game without making it like flashy. You can save a lot of money doing that, and if the game is still good, there might be a charm that appeals to people who would actually play these types of games.
And you said it was the universe, or was help created by the dude who wrote or finished Wheel of Time?
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson. He's done some other big novels as well. I think that's going to be a thing we see moving forward. George R. Martin does Elden Ring. So-and-so does this. Neil Gaiman is making the new Mario Kart.
D.B. Weiss and David Benoff are helping create, and no, hard stop.
Are doing the next Waluigi film. I support that. I do support that. Yes, this is a cool concept, but you were saying, get away from the flashiness. It does have a Fortnite look to it a little bit. That rubbed me the wrong way.
Sure.
You can also, like I said just minutes ago, the fact that you can paint the pieces in pretty great detail is not something that I think I'm going to use, but I imagine the community is going to make some pretty cool looking dudes and fighters and stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool to see.
That's cool that you can paint them. It's embracing the tabletop nature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those Warhammer games, man, they're super popular. I had no clue because I don't know many people who do it, but when you go to these places, man, they have full armies set up, and I'm like, how much did you spend on this? And they're like, oh, like $3,000. I'm like, ooh.
Do you know how many new PlayStation controllers you could have bought with that money?
Yeah.
7.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If you can find them.
Moonbreaker is getting early access on the PC September 29th, 2022. No word if it will come to consoles. Friends vs. Friends is a new furry-based, card-based shooter. Like we would just talked about, reading back the minutes here, Brad said that the trailer didn't like the animation style. It's trying to be hip and cool. It's got like some folky guitar song, and all of the animation rubbed me the wrong way. But it is a card-based first-person shooter meant to be kind of a party game, and that aspect sounds fun.
And
there's one out that's kind of like that called Neon White.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. It's on my list, but I've heard good things about that, and it's card-based.
And it's cel-shaded, which
so is the one I'm thinking of, actually.
Cel-shaded is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really saved themselves with putting the gameplay at the end, because I do agree with you. The trailer was hot garbage.
Yeah.
Until you saw the gameplay, and then I was like, maybe.
Sure.
And we didn't mention Jeff Keighley was the host of Gamescom, because there's only one person allowed to host games conventions, and it's Jeff Keighley.
That wasn't Carson Daly?
He's the new Carson Daly. But now,
Carson Daly.
reading the minutes, we are caught up to where Brad forgot to hit record, and Dylan caught it, so we are now live again, folks.
I think we're now in the good timeline.
We're in the better timeline, yeah.
Yeah.
But this game is one that I think all of us have opinions on and thoughts on. Some people are excited for it. Lies of P.
Yes.
Rise of P.
I watched the whole 10-minute gameplay video, and I watched the story trailer. And
I have not seen the new stuff for it.
you, Tyler, haven't beaten Bloodborne.
Nope. I did immediately notice that it looked From Software adjacent.
It's shameless.
Yeah, like even the HUD looks like it was directly ripped from a Souls game.
Everything is directly ripped 1-to-1. Even one of the characters you can choose to start off with has like the spinny wheel pole weapon.
Yeah,
like it is 100% a ripoff. And I'm not saying that's bad. I mean,
no.
There's other great platformers that are based on Mario.
Yeah,
like we get it, but it's so weird to see something so shameless. When you die, it goes, your pulse perished. And you spawn.
Your pulse perished?
And then you spawn in a little like umbrella called the Stargazer. It is trying to be Bloodborne.
And when Elden Ring came out and we did that first episode after the game came out, we said that there's going to be a lot more games that try to capitalize on the success of Elden Ring and From Software.
This has
been a long time in the making.
This is directly in response to Bloodborne. People want a Bloodborne 2, and this is leaning into that art style.
Yeah, the Victorianness.
Yes.
And the steampunkiness. I dig it.
Yeah.
You when you die, your ergo is lost somewhere. You can recover your lost ergo. At one point, the character gets burned, and then you have a little burn indicator right in the same spot all of your status effects would be in the From Software games.
Ergo just means
souls.
Therefore.
Ergo, whatever you want to call it. Ergonomics, maybe it's short for or something, but...
no, it's like cogito ergo sum. Like,
yep.
I think, therefore I am.
Which I guess is a reference to Pinocchio.
Which means therefore.
Also, in the timeline of let's do gritty reboots of old fairy tales, I mean, I like Pinocchio, but...
Pinocchio's one of my favorites.
It's cool. It's cool, but Lies of Pinocchio, like, they made Hansel and Gretel into, like, a Jeremy Renner first-person shooter movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have weird feelings about this game.
I think it looked cool, but it's like they sat next to From Software in class, and it was like, yeah, you can copy my homework, but like just change enough to where they don't know, the teacher won't know, and then the teacher looks at it and is like, moving your desk.
Nah, this is even worse than that. It's like
you're sitting across the room now.
You're cool. You're cool.
You just did the Wikipedia article.
That all being said, I'm going to play this game. It's Game Pass day one.
It's Game Pass day one?
Yep.
Yeah, it's done. I'll play it.
And I'm going to, the whole time, be comparing it to games that I will forever think are better.
The one thing I noticed with a lot of these trailers, which is weird, is the trailer would end, it would cut to black, and then there would be an additional 30-second segment of more video. And the little piece at the end of this, one of the trailers where it's the people carrying the coffin.
Yeah.
And then they drop it open.
That story trailer looks okay.
That was pretty intriguing. Those villains look cool. The one dude's got a pig gas mask, and the other person's got the rabbit thing.
This is there's a team of 4 ultra bad guys that are trying to capture P, because they can't say Lies of Pinocchio, because apparently that would be not cool enough. They need to call it P. But at the end, the coffin they're carrying opens up and it says liar, and they say get in or something like that.
Yo, I thought... I'm just now catching up on the Pinocchio thing. I just connected. Yeah, okay.
It's okay.
I'm present now.
Don't worry about it.
You run into Geppetto.
I'm all caught up.
Yeah.
The Lies of P. How did I miss that?
Yeah.
That's all right.
I watched the trailer.
It's not flagrant. I don't think it is.
I also watched it before I had coffee this morning.
Jiminy Cricket is the one reborn. He's like an old god type. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect. It's going to be steampunk. I'm going to play it, and I will be just thinking about how much I'd rather be playing Bloodborne, probably. But
Souls-likes. I'm still in Elden Ring, and I don't have patience for it, but I'll see what it's like.
Do you think it's going to have the same difficulty as a Souls game, or do you think it's going to be more accessible?
It might be more accessible. I don't know if they're going to be able to thread that needle, but
yeah, that's a very hard balance that From Software knows how to land.
Yeah.
And just the sound effects in this trailer, I'm like, the way the sword moves, the way things interact, I didn't like. It felt off.
It looked like parrying and dodging was pretty telegraphed, too.
Yeah.
Much more so than, Elden Ring's really the only thing I have to compare it
parrying
to.
in Elden Ring just sucks.
Non-existent. I, to this day, believe it does not exist.
It's still too difficult.
Yeah, I don't do the parry, but I will break stances as often as I can. But I do have a question. Genshin Impact 3 has a trailer. The world design looks fantastic.
Whoa!
My question is for you, Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is Genshin Impact?
Yeah, I've heard of it, and I feel like I should care.
I see it on the top of Reddit sometimes, and I say, what the heck is that? And this trailer, the world looks great. What is it, Dylan?
I've tried to figure this out myself. I've gone on a real investigative journey, meaning that I did some summary work just to satisfy my interest. It's a game that's have you guys ever heard of what a gachapon is?
Like a fantasy
gachapon? Like a gachapon
For the sake of our listeners, I'm going to pretend I haven't.
Oh, okay. So it is a game developed that, the machines where you used to get stickers out of?
Yeah.
Like
put 50 cents in, you get a tattoo or a sticker?
That's what a gacha machine is in Japan. And what it is you roll for characters.
Okay.
And some of them are better than others. And I guess this is sort of like Breath of the Wild. I'm not entirely sure if it's PvP, but I know for a fact that the world looks exactly like Breath of the Wild. It was made by a Chinese company.
Okay.
And it just looks like... Now, I have a tolerance for anime horse shit. I really do.
Pretty high tolerance.
And this, to me, it gave me a headache so big. I'm just like, I'm not doing this. I can't do this today.
He just turns the TV off and just goes outside and looks south in the distance.
I see it on the front page of Reddit too, and it'll be like Glinglorp with its third form, Flame Star ability. I'm like, oh my god, it's just an illustration. What is this? But I know at the heart of what it is.
But apparently, it's great enough that it is a huge phenomenon for a lot of people.
Oh, it's a huge hit because it's based on your rolls, so you're paying. It's free to play.
Oh no,
it's free to play. Yep, but it's based on your rolls for these characters.
Now I'm upset again.
Disgusting.
I've heard people I trust say that the game itself is pretty good, but I will never play this. First of all, I don't have really anything to play it on.
What do you have to play it on?
I assume it's on PC and PlayStation. Is it on Xbox?
Well, and this is just an update that is live that the trailer was for. If you're listening and you love this game or you have strong feelings about
Tell us about it.
Reach
Please
out
do.
to us, Twitter, @HotDogcast or Instagram or Email us here at thedogcast@gmail.com.
Educate us.
We want to know what the heck this is. I mean, like the levels looked great though. Like the world in the trailer, I was very impressed with.
Yeah, I was thinking like that could be something I'd play.
I mean, I'm intrigued by it.
But then, I mean, it also looked like maybe turn-based, and I was like, oh, this looks like a cool RPG maybe. I don't know. And then I said Dylan will know.
Okay. Yeah, it's for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, but no Xbox, so I'm never going to play it. Apparently, they want to put it on the Nintendo Switch. The game is free to play and is monetized through gacha game systems through which players can obtain new characters and weapons. The base game is expanded on a regular basis through patches.
So
games as a service model.
Did they go to Microsoft and were like, we want to put this game on your platform, please let us? And they were like, listen, I got a high tolerance for anime bullshit. But
listen. I got a pretty high tolerance for this shit. Up next, there was a new trailer featuring a boss battle from High on Life with Justin Roiland, the creator of Rick and Morty and
Solar Opposites,
Accounting Plus, Trover Saves the Universe.
Trover Saves the Universe, yep.
And this trailer turned me off.
It did for me too.
It didn't look fantastic, but I'm still going to play it.
The gameplay looked fine. The humor looks grating. Like, if you need to be joking all the time, I will be annoyed.
I don't want my shit to talk to me.
It's almost fine, like, I think we're hitting you a lot. I'm like, eh. And I wrote down swearing is funny because, the gun said fuck. So I laughed.
I read an article from, I believe it might have been Polygon, where someone got like a hands-on type of situation with this and was just like, I couldn't. Like, I could not deal with this.
I was curious if there was going to be that many jokes in the actual game, because oftentimes they
that knife character is only going to say like stabbing puns and
to me the knife character was funny, but it was only in the trailer for 30 seconds.
Yes,
the main gun was just not happening for me.
I like the one where you're shooting out his children. He's like, don't worry, I can make more. I thought that was funny. But
it's one of those things. Rick and Morty's funny because they're 20-minute episodes. If you watch like a 3-hour Rick and Morty movie, I don't know if you'd enjoy it. I think it would wear thin.
It might.
I was going to say, though, you also got to wonder if the dialogue and the jokes are going to be that prevalent in the final game, or if they dialed it up to 11 for the trailer to try and really... Games do that from time to time.
This looked like it was just showcasing a real boss battle.
Your gun has a mouth. If they don't make it talk a lot, you've already got a problem because you made a gun with a mouth. And it's setting up...
He has a high tolerance for guns with mouth bullshit, too.
I kind of do. Like, I like weapons that talk to you.
Yeah.
Like Grimoire Noir from... Grimoire Weiss from Nier.
Tommy from the Power Rangers.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah. That saber talks. It's great.
There's a ton of weapons that talk to you, and it's great.
Yeah. Star Dragon Sword and Suikoden 1 and 2.
There you go.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I don't need a dick pun every time I shoot a gun.
Well, and also I just don't think it... I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
I just think it also... aesthetically... It's just like, Justin, you got to stick to what you know, buddy.
If this is going to be a subpar first-person shooter with a lot of humor, I would avoid it.
It's going to be a 4-hour experience.
That'd be a bummer. But maybe not, now that we're talking about it.
I mean, if it's good, I'll go to bat for it. But it reminds me of Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath. Have you ever heard of that or played that?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, where your weapons are kind of living things for the most part. I would be intrigued to see what this is. I don't know if I'm going to play it, though.
I will sadly say this is making me less excited. Because before I'm like, Justin Roiland, I'm excited. And now, less excited. Which, that is, your trailer failed me.
Cool.
And I have a high tolerance for bullshit trailers. And this, no. That's my new thing. I like that.
Made me want a cigarette. That's what I want.
Speaking of trailers, because that's all we're talking about right now, this trailer has me fucking pumped. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh.
Okay. Tyler, you gave me a sigh.
In college, I went to film school, and we used to do this thing because we were all impressionable young film students where we would get like 3 or 4 of us together.
Yep.
And each one of us would pick a movie, and it had to be typically a shorter movie because you're going to watch like 2 or 3 movies in a row.
Okay.
And everybody would pick a movie. And my buddy picked Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
And it was the first movie we watched. And it was before any of us were intoxicated. And I hated the movie. And I had a horrible experience because it was a terrible movie. And I hated it.
I think if you watched it again, you'd really enjoy it.
Probably. But I have a very negative memory associated with it because I was super annoyed the entire time.
Well, and if you're in film school, that means you're trying to jerk off to Tarkovsky still. You couldn't enjoy cheap,
I
shitty
was a
filmmaking.
pretentious douchebag.
Oh, I was too.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
I'm like Ingmar Bergman. And really, I just wanted to talk about Fight Club. But I was trying to talk about Ingmar Bergman. This, though, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, it's a stupid, funny movie because it's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But this is from the executive director from Friday the 13th, the game. There's not enough of this asymmetrical multiplayer online stuff. I don't know if this will be good. I love that it's happening, and I love the song.
I hear the Friday the 13th game is actually quite good.
It is cool if you can get people playing it. The problem is it's only online.
I feel like this game's going to end up just like the Evil Dead game, where it's great if you have people that want to play it and take it seriously and actually try to play it. But if you're playing with randoms, it might suck.
Well, this game is going to have asymmetric multiplayer, 7 humans versus 3 clowns. So anything where the odds are weirdly tilted in different ways makes for fun multiplayer.
It does make it intriguing.
Anytime there's like 1 flag CTF on Halo, I'd get so excited. 1 defend, 1 attack. It just shakes up the thing instead of 2 flags, you know?
Yeah.
Anytime the map is unbalanced. And the fact that they went with Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the trailer won me over hard, which that says something.
The trailer was pretty good. And that's speaking from someone who absolutely loathes the movie and has seen it once.
Watch it again.
Nearly 10 years ago.
I dare you to watch it again.
Might have to.
I think you'd really be blown away at I don't know, anytime a low budget film is just swinging for the fences on set design, it's charming.
Yeah, maybe I got to go back and watch it because a night where all of us picked these super serious, pretentious movies that we were going to be like, look how good my taste is, and you guys probably haven't seen this one.
Yeah.
And then Killer Clowns is the first movie we watched. I'm like, get out.
No, that should have been the third one you watched. First thing there. But sign up for the closed beta today. I signed up. I don't know if I got in, but I want to do it. It's coming to everything early 2023. Up next, we have Word Song. This is a cryptic medieval fantasy trailer. Trailer's great. I love the trailer for Word Song. No gameplay, but it's from Something Wicked Games, a new studio formed by former Bethesda, Obsidian, and BioWare developers. It's got a pedigree. It's a brand new AAA open world preternatural RPG.
Ooh.
Lot of adjectives there.
Yep.
But it's, to not show gameplay, but to tease a world and have the voice acting there and make it seem like something cool is happening. This trailer won me over, which is hard to do.
It put it on my radar because it's also it's real big dick energy to just be like, we're not going to show you gameplay, but we made these games and this is the new one. And here's 40 seconds of a theatrical trailer.
Teasing the world in a way that gets you excited is much different than showing Darth Revan's mask and saying, we're going to fuck this shit up bad.
Well,
yeah, but I'm curious to learn more. Platforms not even announce release dates. Don't hold your breath. But
God, yuck.
No, the trailer's good though, and I think it's got a good pedigree of developers. So
odds this comes out before the new Elder Scrolls.
Decent, I'd say. I don't think Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out anytime soon.
No, they've even said so.
Fuckers.
Coming next millennium. The next trailer we have is Where Winds Meet. This is a third-person action RPG featuring martial arts, sword and bow gameplay. People have compared it to Ghosts of Tsushima. To me, it kind of looks like Assassin's Creed a little bit, but much cooler.
Yeah, the gameplay for me didn't really speak to me. I didn't feel like I'd really be into it. I did get Assassin's Creed and Ghost of Tsushima vibes from it, but it seemed like a downgraded version of Ghost.
There was just the part where they're actually running on the water over to a ship, and I said, that's cool.
Yeah, and then he jumps, and it seems like you can just keep jumping in the air.
I think he'd fall through the water after jumping in the air, though. We don't know.
We don't know.
Okay.
Currently PC only, possibly late 2023. Don't hold your breath.
Thanks.
Our next update is from Hideo Kojima, little indie developer. You guys might have heard of him. Might have heard of him.
Who's that guy?
He made Metal Gear Solid 3. You might have heard of it. He's starting a podcast.
Oh, okay.
It's called Brain Structure. It starts September 8th on Spotify, which is probably about a week after this comes out. It'll be English and Japanese. So I guess we're retiring. That's fine. But also he said casually, while I'm also working on new games. So he said games. To me, the real announcement was he's working on 2 different games at the same time, which...
Yeah.
What if...
Dylan, my man, what do you think?
Just let him do whatever. He made Death Stranding. Like, if you can... I don't know. Like, it's... every game I play of his, like, transforms me a little bit. Like, mentally.
Yeah.
Just let him do whatever. The speculation aspect of it, I think, only takes you so far. But people were wondering what Death Stranding was for years and years and years. And it was nothing that anyone actually expected. And it turned out
it's going to be this and this? No, it's about delivering packages, you dum-dums.
It's an emotional story about how souls are intertwined.
What if his first guest is Norman Reedus? And then his second guest is Norman Reedus. And then it's just Norman Reedus. And
I thought there was going to be an announcement. Since there's going to also be an English version, I'm like, is Norman Reedus going to be the English version, just reading Kojima's words?
It's also going to be interesting on
because you have to choose someone with a good voice to be doing the English version for him. And is it just him
How popular
talking?
is podcasting in Japan?
Well, he likes America.
And it's going to be interesting to see how the English works in it. Because are they just going to have like someone read his lines in English?
I think so.
He knows how to speak decent English.
But I don't think he will record an hour and a half. That'd be like us also going back and recording another thing. That only happens after I forget to hit record. And that's
plus, if he has guests on it.
My pie in the sky would be that this is actually like a teaser for one of his games.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I think I'll listen to it.
It's called Brain Structure. So I'm curious. After listening to the new Hair the Dogcast, definitely check it out.
Only after.
Our next trailer we have is Phantom Hellcat. This is a Metroidvania style game. 2D exploration, 3D combat. The backgrounds look very cool. The combat might look a little run-of-the-mill hack and slash, but I don't know. It looked fine.
Phantom Hellcat.
I'm not big on platformers, but I do think it looked cool. It's nothing like the one we're going to talk about later that had me more intrigued, that I forget the name of.
Okay.
There's a lot of games. I watched a lot of trailers this morning.
Yeah, it was probably like an hour and a half worth of trailers.
Yeah, well, I don't remember how long it was.
One of the trailers didn't make it onto the playlist that I put on there because it was like R-rated. You had to be logged in, so I couldn't watch it when I put the playlist on my TV. But
oh shit,
yeah,
so I missed one.
Yeah, Phantom Hellcat is coming to PlayStation and Xbox with no release date yet, but if it's on Game Pass, I'll play it for sure, which goes for a lot of things. I mean, I have a high tolerance for Metroidvania bullshit. But
I do too.
Yeah.
I will play a lot of Metroidvanias just to be like, oh, is this any good? Usually they're...
I come from the enchanting land of only playing Hollow Knight now, and I just get a new Hollow Knight right away. I don't have to wait that long.
Yeah.
Those poor bastards waited a long time, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'm a lucky man.
Yeah.
Dwarf Romantic is a strategy game that is coming to Switch. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
Is that the...
Dwarf Romantic... we will watch that trailer.
Yeah, well, I gotta see this.
That's I know which one you're talking about.
This is already out, but the trailer is great.
Oh, it's out?
It's out on a different console. Or it's like only PC so far.
Oh,
but
golly.
It's coming to Switch. This is the announcement trailer for Dwarf Romantic.
Oh. It's a Hex game? Well, it's a Hex game. What's up with that? I'm a little turned on. I don't know. This is something that's... I love building like little civilizations and stuff. Tyler, have you seen this yet?
Yeah, I watched this morning. I thought it looked really fun.
It looks like a really good Switch game.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could play this in bed? Fuck. I could fall asleep.
Soundtrack is perfect.
Find new tiles, but
Build cute worlds.
what's it? I guess I don't see any like strategy. I guess what I was saying earlier, I guess I don't. We just watched it, and it looks like a lot of world building, which I think is really cool. When I see a hex game, I immediately want to see little stats beside it with little health bars, and I want to see like what it does for my economy. And this just doesn't have any of that. And
It looks like a very stripped down, like Zen. Just build your shit and make it cool.
as you expand out into the world, maybe there's some stuff that's like procedurally generated, but I want to see units on the ground.
I just want to hear that soundtrack and little like nice pleasing clicks from my buttons and sound effects, and I'm like, it's a boat. I like a boat.
There's one that it reminds me of a game that's on Game Pass right now called like Cityscaper.
City Skylines?
Like
No, definitely not that one.
Cityscaper, and or Townscraper, Sky Town,
Townscraper,
Super Town. No, and you basically build this town on the water, and it's pretty fun to look at, and it's beautiful, but it doesn't do anything besides like it's like playing with rudimentary Legos. So I don't know. Like it depends on how. If I'd throw a tenner at that.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be pretty well regarded on Steam on PC so far. So this comes September 29th, 2022 to Switch. The next game we have is Blacktail. This is another like new game, new trailer. It's a first-person shooter about witches and Baba Yaga.
Oh, cool.
And bows. It's bow combat. A lot of witchcraft. The forest looks fun to explore, and I guess the point of the game is, do you become like the evil witch, or do you try and become the good witch?
Oh, I'd be the evil witch, duh.
Either way, it's hot. I mean,
it looks like a lot of fun. The only problem with it is games where you get to choose like be the evil or the good give me so much anxiety because I'm like, I don't know what I want to do.
Well, if I ever go through Mass Effect again, I'm going to be the biggest dickhead to everybody because I'm always just such a good boy, and I want to be like punching reporters, you know.
Yeah.
Commander Shepard, what happened? Fuck you! Just punch someone. Yeah, I like that. This looks cool. I'm curious, which that means the trailer worked.
Yeah, the trailer was really well done with like they open it up with like the story about the two sisters, and then the evil one's like, you don't got a face,
and they're like, it's not two, you idiot.
Yeah,
and I was like, whoa.
Thanksgivings are awkward at that house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think it's like both. You see two sides of the same witch, maybe, and they become sisters. I don't know, but that's December 15th for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
Looks fun.
Coming soon. The next trailer, you weren't maybe able to see the Outlast Trials.
No, I don't think so.
I haven't played an Outlast game before, but this trailer looks very good.
You're talking like the horror game Outlast.
Yeah.
Those are fucking scary.
I like Outlast.
Yeah, those are great games.
The second one is bad.
Is that the helicopter crash at the beginning of that one? That was the first one I played. So
is that where you have a camera?
Yeah.
I played that one a little bit.
It is scary as fuck.
And it's a cool concept that the camera is like what you're controlling for.
Yeah,
like,
and it helps you with your like night vision and stuff like that.
And,
which is pretty cool. I really like that first one though, being stuck in that asylum.
Yeah, my buddy played that one and told me about it, but I was like, I don't know if I really want to go back and play the first one. I liked the second one, but
this is a survival horror played alone or with 4 friends.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was giving me, I put down Saw, BioShock. Like, it gave me a lot of cool vibes from the trailer.
Sure.
I don't know what to expect too much, but
that last one came out a while ago. They must have been developing this one for a while.
I like extreme horror.
I really liked the idea of the second one, that you're just stuck in a horror world and you're basically filming a documentary.
Yeah.
Like, you're recording everything that happens to you. So, like, that gave... And the fact that there's no combat...
No.
So it's like, if you see something that can kill you, you got to run or hide. And it just makes you so helpless. Like,
yeah.
For a horror game, that's just chef's kiss.
I love it. I want to be scared.
Yeah.
I want to be scared. Watch the movie Men. You will feel weird.
I wanted to see that for so long.
I'll watch it on.
I've never seen so many men with weird body parts. I'll just say that much.
It's the smiles.
Sign up for a closed beta on Steam for the Outlast Trials. Beta is October 28th through November 1st if you get in. The next trailer we have is Dead Island 2.
Was that Lenny Kravitz?
It was Zenny Bavitz, I think.
American Woman.
Dead Island 2. Great trailer. No gameplay.
This is astonishing. This is another case of like a game that should have just remained dead. No pun intended.
Whoa, dude. I have a low tolerance for good puns.
And I'm going to be honest with you, like that first one sucks balls. It's not a good video game. It's boring. Like clinically dead on arrival, if you ask me. I tried it. I played through it, the entire first one. I didn't have a lot to do at the time.
That first one was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it had
over 10 years ago. Yeah.
One of the best theatrical trailers I've ever seen.
Yeah, with
the reverse.
Yeah,
that's not the one. No, I didn't play that.
The reverse where they're falling back into the
where you start at the girl on the ground and then you go up through the window.
Oh, so it was like ripping off like some zombie movie trailer.
Yeah, but it was good.
But it was good.
It was really good.
Carly loved this trailer. There was also no gameplay. It was a really fucking pretty trailer without any gameplay. It was long.
Yeah. It's gonna be probably the same boring ass game that the first one is, and it's gonna look prettier, and it's gonna have
there have been technically 2 Dead Island games before this.
Last Resort, right? Or
no, it's like Silver Tide.
That's a Papa Roach song.
Rising Tide, Silver Tide.
Did Papa Roach have the theme song for that game?
I don't know, but just on a quick tangent, when did he dye his hair blonde?
I didn't even know he had hair.
He's a weird looking dude. I do like that song.
When did roaches learn how to talk?
After the fallout, probably.
Yeah.
And how many children does he have?
Dead Island 2 releasing February 3rd, 2023 for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Stadia.
2023.
So that was like part of the main day. Then there was the Future Game Show, which was a separate day. Oh, these are all future games, but okay, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
God of Rock is a rhythm fighting game.
Okay.
And it didn't show any unique peripherals, but you choose two different fighters, and essentially you have like Guitar Hero things flying towards the center of the screen. I thought the concept was cool, but the trailer didn't look great.
It looked like hot dog shit.
Yeah.
I was not impressed.
Wow.
When I saw the...
I'll defer to you, man.
When I saw the list of titles in the playlist that Brad created, my mind, like my eye went directly to that game. I was like, sure, can't wait to get to that trailer. That's going to be cool. And then I saw the gameplay and I was like, fuck that game.
It looks weird.
The concept is cool.
Yeah.
But it looked sloppy.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for a rhythm game. And they had me at rhythm fighting game, and then they lost me when I saw it. Release date, everything. This is coming to everything winter of this year.
Play Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Yeah, go play that. The next trailer we have is Dark Pictures, The Devil in Me.
Super psyched for this.
Yes, me as well. I haven't played any of the Dark Pictures games, and I love them all. I know I will when I play them, but because I'm a big sucker for Until Dawn.
The Quarry was great. Until Dawn was fantastic. Man of Medan was good. Definitely my least favorite so far, and then the one that I'm currently playing on and off is the one with the guy from We Are the Millers or whatever his name is.
Little Hope.
Little Hope, yeah. Little Hope, definitely the scariest so far.
That's what I've heard.
Well, what the concept for this? One of the taglines is "Welcome to the Murder Castle." They're focusing more on gameplay, and they're leaning into the Murder Castle is more of like a hotel. It's kind of based on H.H. Holmes.
Yeah. That's what really my mind went to immediately and got me psyched.
Well, when I saw The Devil in Me, I thought of The Devil Inside, which is the famous book about him. And also, I was reading an interview from the developer. He's like, it's got a lot of
The Devil in the White City.
The Devil in the White City, yeah.
Great book.
But it also gave me a lot of like Shining vibes. The Thing, like it's more based on like you manage an inventory. There's more puzzles. There's more gameplay.
But puzzles, actual puzzles.
Yeah, because after you play a couple of them, it's the same. Like you're doing kind of the same shit. And The Quarry, as much as I love it, does not have a lot of gameplay. So seeing that they added more to it is when we talked about the quarry a couple weeks ago, a step in the right direction.
Sure.
Well, it depends on what you want. Because I also, from a game like this, I want it to be something that I can sit down with Carly on the couch and we can play together. And there's a point, though, where it becomes, if there's too much gameplay, it detracts from non-gamers being able to enjoy it as a group watch or a sit-down together type thing. But this trailer was great, I thought.
Yeah. I wonder if they will do, like, not quite a director mode, but a more of a cinematic mode that cuts out some of the puzzles for the exact situation you just described.
Yeah. I want an easy mode. I don't know how to do a tic-tac-toe. The next game we have is the Dark Pictures Devil and Me comes out November 18th this year.
Ooh, it's a little close to God of War.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
What are you ever going to...
God of War is just a Horizon Zero Dawn ripoff, dude.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Up next, we have The Last Case of Benedict Fox, a Lovecraftian Metroidvania.
This one looked real cool.
I am not sold on the gameplay yet, but I am sold on the words Lovecraftian Metroidvania.
Sure.
I like old gods as much as the next fella. I like being scared at the size of the universe. The gameplay needs to be good, though, still.
Like I said before, like I'm not a huge platformer guy. This one definitely caught my attention.
Oh, I've seen a trailer for this already.
I think the art style looked cool. It looked like there was some cool combat. It looked like there was a nice level up system that had to do with tattoos.
You get to get tattoos.
So that's cool. That
Sign me up.
Takes me right back to Fallout 3 with your tatau.
Yeah, I've actually seen a trailer for this.
Looked a lot of fun.
I am excited for this. I think it's probably coming to Game Pass. It's 2023 for PC and Xbox.
Fuck.
Yeah, it looks wonderfully painted. You can get me with a game that has really good art style right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for it, but also...
You put that milky udder in front of me and I'll suck on it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, otherwise I can't run.
Sonic, help.
These things are weighing me down.
I'll suck on him.
Oh, yeah. This will wash down my chili dogs.
That is the grossest sentence I've heard all day.
It's sort of erotic, but not that much.
I'm half chub. Tails, you watching? Our next trailer is... It's an exploration game where you play as a trash-hungry raccoon called Snackoon.
Oh, I hate that.
It's a cool trailer. It's got a unique kind of almost cel-shaded style, like art style, but the part of the trailer that got me is the raccoon like walking down the alleyway looking sad, and then it zooms in on a newspaper that says Snack Foods banned. And I'm like, all right, in a world without snack foods, you need to go and find like garbage food. He sees a picture of a donut and a phone, and he's like, he tries to steal a phone and run away with it. I don't know. It looks fine. It looks cute.
It'll blow Stray right out of the water.
I don't think so.
No.
But it will cater to the Stray crowd.
Yeah. It looked cool.
Coming to PC, no release date.
Probably won't play it then.
There was a new trailer for System Shock, and I just put down 3 words after watching it, but I am in.
Okay.
System Shock, you probably don't know this, Tyler, was from the creator Ken Levine. He made this before BioShock 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know all of what happens in the game. There's supposed to be like a big story twist, but sci-fi. I know Shodan's the bad guy because we have a character battle, and you vote for Shodan. I don't even know who that is, but this trailer looks great. I thought the audio was great. Like the voice acting was really cool. I'm excited for System Shock. Did you play the original, Dylan?
I played System Shock 2.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
System Shock 2 is the one developed by Ken Levine.
Oh, System Shock 1 wasn't.
I don't believe so. System Shock 2, original developer. Hold on. It was directed by Doug Church with Warren Spector serving as producer. Yeah. So it was... System Shock 2 is the big famous one. This is technically the one that people are like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
But 2 is really awesome.
Maybe they're making this in anticipation for 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. There's money. Then they'll make BioShock 1 again.
Yeah.
And the cycle will go on forever. It just like there's a lighthouse in every universe.
They're I'd be excited for updated gameplay because I played System Shock 2 off of Steam, and I was pretty impressed, but there's some weirdness to it. Everything kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
It's a bit doomy.
there was an announcement for a car based on Pokemon.
And that's a trailer I didn't really watch all the way through.
Wow.
Well, Pikachu is getting his own car. He's teaming up with Minnie.
They're letting him drive. How does he reach the pedals?
Well, and with look at the car. Carly's like, that looks more like Bulbasaur than Pikachu. I was like, dude, you can't just slam people that hard, Carly.
I have to see the Pokemon car.
Now, we'll watch the trailer. We'll put the trailer up for this one. You need to see Pikachu car. Pikachu car games.
Whatever happened to the...
And how much do I need?
Whatever happened to the dude that had the bicycle with like 85 phones attached to it and he was just rolling around doing Pokemon Go?
You mean the Asian grandpa?
Yeah. Did we need a car?
All right, Dylan, you ready to have your dick blown away? This is not it. This is a trailer for a game.
Saints Row. Wow.
All right, I'm over here at the mini booth with Oliver. This is the mini concept Aceman reveal. This looks so cool.
It does look like Bulbasaur.
Well, let's take a look and learn more in this trailer.
But I don't know if it's for Pikachu. What the fuck?
You like games. Do you like driving? Have your parents buy you a car.
I mean, I guess Bulbasaur is the first Pokemon.
No, it's actually Pikachu based though.
It's Pikachu based?
It's an electric car.
Oh.
It's got like a projector.
Are they literally watching Pokemon the first movie and being like, haha,
Oh,
yay.
this looks so cool. I have so many questions for you.
This looks so cool.
Oliver. First of all,
Adults watching the first Pokemon movie.
A car with gaming features and Pokemon. How did this come together?
Yeah, first of all, let's talk about Gamescom. You know,
First of all,
Gamescom
fuck you, Jeff
is,
Keighley. Let's talk about something else.
One of the core events of fandom pop culture. And as we
It's
ourselves
gotta be
are
purposefully
part of
like
that pop
Bulbasaur.
culture, we don't want to miss out such a great event. And the world of Pokemon is full of unique characters with
Like
special
Mr.
powers.
Mime and Jinx.
So we share
Or
a
really
love
boring
for
human
distinctive
characters because you only
design
care
and
about the
strong
fucking
values.
animals you
I'm
catch.
going to ask you your favorite Pokemon in a minute, but first,
Hot
I want to ask about
tease.
the gaming features.
Who's your
You
favorite
saw a little bit in the
Pokemon?
trailer. Tell us,
And then
break
he
it
asked
down.
him
Why
about
does this
gaming
appeal to
features, and the
gamers?
guy doesn't answer the question. I don't understand if there's a console in there. I think it's got capabilities, though. We don't know. Yeah, Pikachu's getting an electric car from Minnie. Dylan, day one?
Yeah.
Day one gets you an extra song preloaded into the stereo.
How many kidneys do I have to give for this?
How many you got left?
2.
It'll still cost less. It'll still cost less than the PlayStation controller, though, so that's fine.
Oh, awesome. Okay. That's great.
Yep. So that happened.
I really would like a Pikachu to talk to me when I do my shit, but where am I going to plug him in, you know?
You put on like Google Maps and it just says Pikachu instead of turn right.
Yeah, it's just like, Pika, Pika.
Pika!
Eventually you'd be able to understand
I always
Pikachu.
turn off the voices anyway. Who needs that? The map's right in front of you. What is this?
Yeah.
I can read.
Yeah, I don't need someone to tell me. Turn left up here.
Carly gets very angry when I have the voice on mine. But
She's
Well,
right.
It
I just-
interrupts the song.
She's correct.
I just don't want to look down when I'm driving.
Yeah, but like have it set up so you can do a quick like side glance.
My car can't even do that. It's pretty old.
Yeah, so well, you just get a clip. You get a clip for the dash.
I have a low tolerance for clips on my dash.
Oh, okay. But you're right, Carly.
Yeah.
If you're listening.
Awesome Indie Showcase. I will be the first to say I didn't get to show enough love to this section. I shamelessly went to the 2 games that I've already backed on Kickstarter that have trailers, but the trailers are both very good. Okay. The first one is 9 Years of Shadow. This popped up on my Kickstarter as something I might like years ago, and it's from like I think it's from a South American developer or a Mexican developer. It's like a Metroidvania, and I said sure. It was $10 to get pre-ordered digital. We'll watch the trailer for this one as well, since I want Dylan to see this. But
Sailor Moon meets Berserk.
That's exactly what I thought when I watched it. I was like, was that Griffin?
I like the concept of armor switching between like different puzzles.
It looks almost exactly like Deedlit in Wonderland.
The trailer really does it for me. I like the art style a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
We'll see what the difficulty winds up being like, but it looks like there's a fair amount of platforming.
I like good platforming.
Michiru Yamane from Castlevania Legend doing a lot of the soundtrack. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good.
I like a Pino. The teddy bear. So, I think games like this really come down to game feel. Like, yeah. I think a game like this already looks appealing, and I think that everything kind of looks like everything's supposed to be in order. But until I have my hands on it and I'm messing around, I'm not going to really know, because the only way that these guys can differentiate from each other is if it's just solid enough. Like if it feels right to play. So, because we've seen so many things like it, that the only way that it can actually differentiate itself is now going to be like how tight it is.
I like the switching of the couple different armors anyways, to like turn into like the mermaid form and to navigate between. Hopefully you have to do a lot of puzzles where you have to go from this armor to that armor without landing. Mm-hmm. I am now at the point where I need to be challenged on my Metroidvanias. If it is, God bless you, Symphony of the Night, you're still one of my favorites, but I can 200% you in like 6 hours.
Try Deedlit in Wonderland on Game Pass right now.
Yeah.
If you don't know anything about like the story of it, it's like a side story of something, but it is super solid, and it involves using different shields to absorb different attacks from bosses as they fire at you, and they'll fire 2 different types of attacks.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's almost like Ikaruga, but a Metroidvania.
That's high praise.
Yeah.
I just need a challenge in my games these days, and this is hitting the right notes on the trailer, 9 Years of Shadow. We'll see how it shakes out. But yeah, it's one that I backed a long time ago because it just said Metroidvania. It was like $10 to get a digital version on Switch when it comes out. I'm like, sure, I'll spin the wheel there. I'll roll the dice. But
you'll get it anyway then. That's good.
Yep, and its release date, it's coming to PC this September. It's not coming to the Switch until Q1 2023, which it's fine, but also release in the same day, please.
Yeah,
if you can.
Wait for those Steam reviews, I guess.
And
but you already bought it, so.
I also, since you haven't seen this trailer, Ayuden Chronicle is probably the game I'm most hyped for in the world. It's from Miriyama, the creator of Suikoden's 1, 2, and the story for 3. I couldn't be more excited. This is another Kickstarter project, one of the most successful ever backed. It's coming soon, but just like this trailer just reinforces that I think the art style is really landing.
High quality JRPG. Oh, nice engine.
That is very pretty.
And just knowing that the dialogue and the story is going to be well written and mature rather than a lot of games which kind of pander down. And I love that the battles look like old school PS1 six player battles.
Oh yeah.
But with like a lot of modern graphical tweaks too.
You have to have some flash and substance.
It does look really polished.
It looks stunning.
Wish it was called something else, but you know.
Well, you don't like Ayuden Chronicle?
I just don't. Chronicle in the name, even for Xenoblade Chronicle, I think it's stupid.
Okay, you don't have a problem with Ayuden, you have a problem with Chronicle.
I have a problem with Chronicle
because I remember back in the day, like the fact that they went with Suikoden, people were like that sucks. And he's like, I don't fucking care.
No, I have a problem with Chronicle. You put Chronicle into it, and I'm just like, okay, well.
If you translate Suikoden, it means water margin. Like, you wouldn't be doing much better if you went with that anyways. And I saved one trailer for last that I didn't put on the playlist. It is a game that is, I think, going to be close to the Dogcast heart. And also, I think Dylan is going to be blown away by the voice actor for it.
Golden, sun-soaked grains. The finest hops. Yeast that brings a gift of life.
Things would be better with cocaine.
Ingredient
Disco Elysium.
Oh my God.
Root beer is art. A beautiful feeling captured in liquid amber.
Wow, okay.
Now, express yourself. You are the brewmaster.
We might have to do this on a stream.
Coming September 29th. For PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5.
Yeah, too bad I don't have. I do have a PlayStation 4 from Brad right now, but
my sincerest hope is that that voice actor is the narrator for the whole game, because I will never be able to disassociate that as part of my inner monologue at all times. You could sleep in, Brad. You are the Brad Master. I don't know. It's sent me in a weird place just for a home brewing game. The voice actor from Disco Elysium, that made me just chuckle.
Yeah. I'd rather make real beer than play a game about it.
I would. This is great for people that don't have the time or the the inclination. It costs money. This is a way to experiment with different beer styles. You learn about hops. It looks like
tool.
And a lot of those simulator games, like even Farming Simulator, that's not for me. But as a farmer, you can.
I've played it.
I played it too. It's not for me, but you can learn a lot about skill sets and stuff. But this would be a great way. You could, I think, if you were extremely proficient at this game, you could talk to a real brewer about certain hops and malts and the process. And I think it will learn. You can learn a lot from it if you are into brewing, or beer in general.
I'm interested in that.
Looks like a nice, relaxing simulator.
Yeah. You could do some cocaine, though, Bradley. And it's like, if they just slip one of those.
Please.
Yeah.
That's my Brad impression.
Whoa, that was really good.
Thank you.
Great. Did we not talk about your favorite game from Gamescom? Let us know. But we probably did because the other ones suck.
It's true.
And that was our Gamescom recap. And now for something a little different. Let's talk about a steaming pile of shit.
I mean, I'm sitting right here, guys.
Tyler Melly was born in Wisconsin.
Tyler sometimes wears glasses. He's also got a beard.
As of an hour ago, he's unemployed.
Are you unemployed?
Technically till Friday. Well, yeah.
Oh, he's on vacation, y'all.
There's a little bit of a gray area there, but this episode won't air in time.
His hair is cut close. He once had gauges.
Whoa.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I blew my ears out.
Yeah.
It was a big bummer. I'm going to size back up, though.
You could put a little whistle in him and have girls play a little tune.
That's a great idea. I like that.
Sex appeal.
Hey, baby, you want to blow my ears?
Hey, baby, you want to try my whistle?
Speaking of blowing, we're talking about the Gamescom.
Hold on, I wanted to talk about Cult of the Lamb, Brad. Cult of the Lamb is a 2022 game.
What have we been playing?
Yes.
Cult
of the Lamb is fucking good. Go out and get it. I can tell literally everyone at this table that it is within my top 5. As of right now, even though I didn't play that many games this year, it is so good. You play as this character called the Lamb. You're about to be sacrificed by these 4 bishops of the old ways. And as you get killed, you get resurrected back from the dead by the one who waits. This ancient deity from underground. He says, they thought they could kill me. I'm going to let you live forever. You start a cult slowly with Happy Tree Friends style characters. As you go through dungeons, it's almost Hades-like.
Okay.
And as you do that, you build up stuff for your cult. And it's like a management sim for a cult. So you can build doctrines, and then you can perform rituals.
Can you hide documents next to the pool?
No. Unfortunately.
That was a Mar-a-Lago joke.
No pool. Oh, there you go. Did they buy the pool?
One of them was in the closet by the pool.
That's interesting.
Speaking of cult simulators.
Yeah, mega. My cult is called the Molden Dawn.
The Molden Dawn.
And my doctrine mainly
I woke up and found mold on myself.
My doctrine mainly focuses on lack of a fear of death, but also the value of work.
Wow, that's a good way to get people to work.
Industrialize them.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to die. Work harder.
And so I also have rituals where I can brainwash them. The dungeon crawling is fun and interesting, and you kind of build that. It's less complex than games like Hades, but it's still really fucking awesome. Eventually, you try to build up your cult enough so that you build up your combat abilities to defeat these 4 bishops, and then something happens. I've killed 2 of the bishops so far. I've almost unlocked a ton of things in the cult because I found myself focusing on that a little bit more than the combat itself. It's wonderful. It's got charm, wit. It's not like Animal Crossing. If you like Animal Crossing, don't get this game. You have to sometimes sacrifice your followers. You have to imprison them if they're being bad and they do not like it. Sometimes they get sick and die. You have to develop cemeteries for your followers, and it's awesome.
What do you play it on?
I'm playing on the Switch right now.
It's on the Switch?
It's on the Switch.
I'll have to get it on Steam then.
Yeah, I believe it's out for PlayStation as well.
Oh, then I can pick that up.
It is a little pricey for an indie game at this point, though. It's about $30.
Well, Hades was like 24, 25 when I bought it, so that's not bad.
Right. In this game, I feel like I'm reaching kind of a climax point with it, and I've played it for 4 or 5 days. But as an insular type of video game, it's wonderful. It's getting right up there for me. I recommend it to everyone. I think if you like any type of simulator, if you like things with humor that are cute,
if you like true crime and weird murder cults, like there's something for you there, maybe.
Well, one of the cool things is that I had a follower who came up to me with a quest for him, and he said, "I'd really love to try some poop. Can you make me like a poop salad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Mungus, I'll make you a poop salad."
Come on, Mungus, I got you.
And then I made Mungus a poop salad, but one of my other followers actually walked up and ate the poop before him, and then he died because there's a 75% chance of death upon eating the poop. And then he died, and I had to bury him in a body pit. And I was like, "Fucking Mungus!" And he got angry at me for not making him the poop. He was really angry at me for it, and I'm like, "I don't know, dog." And then I put him in the stockades.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do.
I didn't want to deal with him for a while. He was kind of annoying.
Yeah,
but they're all fluffy and furry animal characters.
Yeah,
as you can imagine. The combat is great. I will say there are some caveats where there are some like blind spots on the screen every once in a while because it's dense with like really cool things to look at. The maps look pretty interesting. Sometimes things don't hit the way you want them to. There's hitbox issues. I think they'll patch that in though. So if you wanted to wait a while, go for it. But I'm kind of hooked on this. It's got approval from the girlfriend as well. So,
and did you beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3?
That game keeps getting bigger.
So you haven't finished it yet? No.
Mm-mm. And I thought I was near the end. No. By all accounts, I am maybe 73% in. Which, in a game that I had spent less time on, I would have been like, oh, okay. But the amount of time I've put into Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is astronomical. I believe it's over 100 hours at this point. Like I treated it like a job for 2 weeks. And yeah, I took a little bit of a break. Let's put it that way. I love the game. It's really satisfying, and it is actually a continuation of the first 2 games, as it turns out in a plot reveal. So, I mean, I recommend it.
Tyler, what you been playing?
Well, while you were talking about Cult of the Lamb, I bought it on the PlayStation app on my phone, and it is already downloading to my console.
I like that.
It is playable in
sick.
3 minutes. So
you're going to have a good time, dude.
Psyched for that. You're the 4th person in like a week to recommend it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I've heard about it quite a bit. So it's been on my radar.
I'm glad to be the nail in that coffin.
Yeah. What I've been playing recently, I beat South Park Fractured Butthole. I'm playing Stick of Truth now. Mm-hmm. I think I like the combat, and I like the interactiveness of the combat in Stick of Truth more than in Fractured Butthole, but I do like the grid system, turn-based fighting, and
yeah, that part
Fractured
is cool.
Butthole better. Mm-hmm. So that was an incredible game. I really like Stick of Truth. I also did about 7 or 8 hours in Greedfall.
Greedfall, I've played a little bit of that.
It is not doing it for me.
It's not very good.
Don't think I'm going to continue playing it. A lot of people say it's generally about the 15-hour mark, and you really got to go headstrong into the main quest line before it really starts getting good. But the traveling is convoluted and very clunky, and you find yourself having to walk through areas that you've already explored, where you've killed the enemies, and then walking back through it, those enemies are non-existent because you killed them. So it's a lot of just walking.
Yeah.
The cool part about it that I did enjoy is you're role-playing a diplomat. So a big
diplomat with magic powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people said it was just like you go to from point A to point B, you talk to somebody, and then you walk back to point A and you tell them what they said, and then they send you to somebody else. And that is true. It is kind of boring in that sense, but it is nice to... The quests feel like you actually got to kind of pay attention because there's emotions and motivations involved.
I found it... I was super intrigued by what it was because it's basically about like colonization and settling the new world.
Yeah, with a plague that's like attacking your homeland that you want to find a cure for.
It's really kind of cool, like revolutionary era, like with magic set into it, which I thought was a really interesting kind of aesthetic.
Yep.
I just could not get into it. I was playing it free on Game Pass though, so.
Yeah, I was playing it free on Spartacus.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think I'm going to keep playing it just because I got so many games to play. Like, I got to play Castlevania. I still haven't beaten Hades 10 times. I haven't beaten Cuphead.
No.
I got Elden Ring. Well, Brad's going to kill me if I don't beat Elden Ring.
Well, you have a little bit of time. Castlevania month will be a break away from Elden Dogs. We won't get back to that for probably 6 weeks. I'll be married before we talk about Elden Dogs again.
Yeah. Hot damn. But yeah, no, I was...
I go, no, don't get married.
Does anyone object? And Dylan says, I object.
Yes.
And then you rip your clothes off.
And then I carry you away.
Are you going to wear a breakaway suit?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm actually just going to rip it.
Oh, damn.
I won't get the deposit back.
All suits are breakaway if you're strong enough.
Yes, I'll Hulk out.
Yeah.
Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. Please don't tear our suits. Yeah, no, that's what I've been playing. Really excited to play Cult of the Lamb, though. It's probably what I'm going to do tonight.
Yeah.
You're going to find yourself... It does have like that Stardew Valley factor of like, all right, one more day.
That's how Hades was. It's like one more run.
Yep.
I can do one more run.
That's what this one is.
It's and then it's 3:30 in the morning.
Well, I got to wait till my followers give me enough devotion so I can get this.
Yeah. So what about you, Brad?
I am still playing Final Fantasy IX. I didn't get a lot of time this weekend, unfortunately, but...
You passed disc 1?
I'm past disc 2.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I am probably about 18, 20 hours in, and I know that I'm getting to the point where it'll be a narrative thrust. I just reached a climax, and I am back in Alexandria, and the party's a little split up and like a little aimless at the moment, so something big's about to happen to push us forward. Loving the game still. Again, I mean, when I say loving the gameplay is what it is. The turn-based battles I don't have the patience or the time for anymore.
So you speed through them.
So I'll speed through them, especially like to level up and get my abilities. I'll switch on to speed, and I'm like, I just want to get this out of the way.
Not the AP.
Yeah, but the story is great. The characters are great, and so far I've loved almost all of it. I now know who Aiko and Amaranth are, and Vivi is, everyone agrees, a great person. We love you, Vivi. You're great.
We love Vivi.
No one's got any issues with Vivi. Everybody else can be a little upsetting. Queen of Quen is missing, and I will not go looking for him.
Get him back. Blue magic, baby.
But Queen of Quen is the most annoying character.
He loves frogs, too.
They love
like
frogs.
Big the Cat.
And when they say the characters S/he when they're speaking about them, I said, how do they say that when they talk about Queen with pronouns? Do they say, why don't they just put they instead of S-?
Because there's a Japanese word for it that they didn't use.
A genderless Japanese word?
It more or less means like transvestite.
Okay.
Which is still an outdated term, but there's still they're like manga characters that they have a hard time telling you what they are instead of just using they.
My biggest problem is there's going to be a big emotional story beat for Freya Crescent, who has found her long-lost love, and the world is ending around them, and they find out that the person they've been looking for doesn't remember them, and then Queen is standing there in the dumbest fucking outfit with that big dumb face with a giant tongue out saying, I want to eat the sand. And I say... I'm having a moment over here, Quina. Can you shut the fuck up for 5 seconds?
But Quina loves to eat frogs. Don't you understand?
No. And
so a lot of that went over my head because I've never played the game, but you said it's on Spartacus?
It is available on the PlayStation Double Plus Extreme Spartacus Edition.
I like that. Yeah, maybe that's the new name.
PlayStation Double Plus.
The story in that game shines the most. I really like the level up system.
And the characters are so much better written, well written than 7 and 8.
Well, they actually make it like a comic book, which is actually pretty cool. Like the way that the text bubbles show up, like just like how extreme they look, they'll shake in place, and it's really charming. Character designs alone.
I played a little bit of Splatoon 3. I tried to do the world.
Did you win the hunting festival?
Well, I tried to play the hunting festival. I did the tutorial, and they're like, yo, we're done. The festival's over, bitch. So I didn't get a chance to play it. I did the tutorial, though, and I hated it. The fact that you aim like part of it partially up and down with your controller.
What?
Yeah. So, you move like forward with the left thumbstick, and the right thumbstick, you look left and right, but to like look up, to point up and down, you have to use your controller to aim your gun.
That sounds dumb.
It was horrible. And I couldn't find a way to change it, at least in the tutorial for this. I've heard great things about Splatoon, but if that is the only way to play Splatoon 3, I wouldn't like it.
Oh, it's partial aiming with that.
I don't want that. I want just to use my thumbsticks. It's better
unfortunately,
that way.
that's Splatoon.
Pass. And I guess we can move on to the Gamescom. Unless you have anything else you want to say, Dylan.
I don't. I do have to piss again because I don't know why.
You won't miss anything about this Gamescom.
Go for it.
So I was real confused this morning.
Yeah.
Because it's a convention.
The Gamescom is a convention.
And then this is the Gamescon?
No, this is the game.com, but it's pronounced Gamescom. Here, I'll let you take a look at this beautiful picture here in my...
I remember this from the weird-ass trailer you sent me this morning.
So, the Gamescom is a 5th-generation handheld gaming console from Tiger Electronics.
So they called it game.com. That's the name of the console.
It's written out game.com, but it's pronounced Gamescom.
Did they understand at the time how stupid that is?
Probably not.
Okay,
so... Do you remember those little Tiger Electronics games you'd get that were like Jurassic Park or Power Rangers or like even Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? Like those really crappy little games with like a couple buttons on them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's Tiger Electronics.
Okay.
Yeah. They release a ton of them, and you get them when your parents don't want to buy you a whole Game Boy or something, And so this is their second console that they've released. They also released the R-Zone, which it's somewhere back there. The R-Zone is another great console. It was made to compete with the Nintendo Virtual Boy, which is Nintendo's worst console of all time, crashed horribly. I had the R-Zone XPG, and it was bad. It was very bad, but the Gamescom, wow. Now, this is a console. Now, I put down, but why? They'd made this to destroy the Game Boy. This would kill the Game Boy.
This is the Game Boy killer.
This is the Game Boy killer.
Named after a website.
They actually owned the website game.com back in the day. You could go there and it would take you to a Gamescom.
No shit. I just can't get over that. That blows my mind.
Tiger Gamescom. Tiger Electronics said it would change the gaming world as we know it. And it was, in the article I read, the only new console that year, but I don't believe that. It was displayed at E3 in May 1997. This console was released September 12th, 1997, a day after Breath of Fire 3, and 2.5 weeks before Croc Legend of the Gobos, to give you a time frame. This released for $69.95. Now, I mean, what are the selling points of the Gamescom? Well, you ever heard of calendars? Because this has it.
Dude, that's how you tell what day it is.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do that. I only have 2 hands. How am I supposed to tell what day it is? Well, here you go. This also is a calculator.
So hold on. You're telling me back in 2002 when I was in elementary school and my teacher told me that I would not have a calculator in my pocket, she knew she was lying.
Because she had a Gamescom in her pocket at the time. And she's like, you won't ever have this because they don't sell them anymore.
Fucking Mrs. Lindquist.
Crashed and burned. I had a Mr. Lindquist. Maybe they
really
knew each other.
Maybe they made out.
Maybe they mated. So yeah, calendar, calculator, and you ever heard of phone directories? Yeah. I could put down Dylan's phone number in this thing too.
In case you're lost.
Are you buying this yet?
No. I'm not totally sold. What else has it got?
Okay. Fuck. You ever heard of non-backlit black and white screens?
Yes.
Very familiar. Does this come with a worm light? No.
Totally useless in direct sunlight?
Okay. Just give me a second. This is the first game console to include a touchscreen.
Do you have to use a pen?
It has a stylus.
Okay.
Yep, you can see it right there, right in the front of the console.
Oh, fun. Just go.
And this is also the first handheld with internet capabilities.
Wow.
If you bought the optional modem and signed up through your internet service provider. Wow. You also, if you notice here on the side, there's 2 cartridge slots. You need to put in the internet cartridge to use the internet. So there's actually like internet on a cartridge, and you just put that in. It's only text-based, though. You can't look at a picture. I mean, come on. But you can get text-based internet capabilities. Mostly you can just check your emails. If you bought the optional modem. Okay. If.
That was probably pretty expensive.
I don't think it was cheap. But luckily, 4 AA batteries.
Sure. How long did it last? Is there any word on that?
Well, with how shitty it looks, probably a long time. And also, they did have one other accessory. You can get a serial cable to play multiplayer games locally. Great. Yeah. So the internet access cartridge would be available a month after this came out. This was Tiger's latest release, largest release they ever made. It came in with 2 pack-in games preloaded on the system. You guys ever heard of Solitaire?
Sure.
Shit, that game?
Yeah. Pretty good, huh?
I love Solitaire.
I'm almost sold.
Yeah, but how about Lights Out? Now this, you got a cartridge for. And it's got a 5x5 grid light, a 5x5 grid, and you tap it, and then it turns the lights on or off all around where you tap, and the goal is to turn off all the lights by tapping them.
Mine almost like Minesweeper?
Except probably worse and less visually appealing. But that was the pack-in games. It couldn't play music and sound effects at the same time. So if you had a game that you wanted sound effects, your music would have to stop a little bit. Or you just didn't have... Most of the games didn't have any music, so you could just hear the sound effects.
So it already makes it worse than the Game Boy.
This will destroy the Game Boy. Tiger assured me, Dylan.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
They had the short man angrily yelling at me in the trailer that it was going to do so.
Did you watch the trailer, Dylan?
For the Gamescom?
In my mind, do you remember that Apple commercial where you throw the sledgehammer through the TV? That big ass commercial from back in the day?
There are a lot of people rating Lights Out pretty high.
It actually was one of the best games for the Gamescom because this thing couldn't handle shit. Here's the commercial.
I have a surprise for all the slackers who have nothing better to do than play games and surf the net all day. Gamecom! Bring those bloodshot eyes on these babies! It speaks!
Let's rock.
Begs to be touched! Wires you to the internet! And it plays more games than you idiots have brain cells! Any questions? Doesn't play! Idiot! Next question! How about compatibility? How much does it cost? Let's get them!
They murdered that little guy.
Do you guys want to buy one yet?
For the life of me, I do not understand
I want to own one.
The marketing approach to that commercial. Everything about it is so incredibly bewildering.
You know when you alienate most of your audience? It worked for Ghostbusters 2016.
But you have a little person in a bright red suit just berating a crowd, and then they kill him at the end.
And they're like, we gotta play these black and white games.
If I would have showed that to my dad and be like, I want one of those, he would have been like, go outside and play it.
He said it has more games than you idiots have brain cells. I'm pretty sure there's like 100 billion brain cells in a brain. I don't know the number for sure, but there's only 20 games in the Gamecom.
I haven't counted recently, so we don't know.
So yeah, that's where that is. Games cost between $19 and $29.
Hey, that's not the worst.
Tiger handled all matters of game development themselves. No one else was allowed to make games for it. They paid hand over fist for great licenses to get you to come play games that they made on their system. And
like Resident Evil 2.
Some other important features. The screen was 1.5 by 2 inches. The carts could hold roughly 2 megabytes. Pretty bad cartridges.
Yeah.
Wisconsin State Journal said that the Gamecom offered some serious advantages over the Game Boy.
Tell me more.
Thanks, Wisconsin State Journal.
A whole 7 years after the Game Boy's release, of course.
Including its touchscreen. It was also stated in comparison, the Gamecom's 8-bit processor provided marginal improvements in the quality of speed and graphics.
Now, the Game Boy Color came out, a year after this, right?
Yeah, something like that. And the Pocket came out like a year after this. But there are 21 games in total for the Gamecom.
21.
21. Some people only say 20. They don't count Solitaire as a game that made for it, but it counts. So we'll just talk about some of the highlights. We can get the fuck out of here. Batman and Robin was a game for the Gamecom.
I saw some screenshots.
Pluses, you can choose 5 different weapons prior to each stage, and it encourages experimentation. Graphics are outstanding for the Gamecom. Okay, for the Gamecom. The LCD ghosting, this is a negative, makes it almost impossible to determine where an enemy is. That's not good.
This is so remarkably bad.
Retro Games Review gave it a 5 out of 10.
Wow.
Centipede, it looks fine. It's Centipede. Duke Nukem 3D came out for the Gamecom. Was released in 1997 in the U.S. only. Duke Nukem cannot turn. He can only move forward, backward, or strafe left and right.
And there's no music, so it's just going to be him going, oh, yeah.
You sounded way better than he sounded in this, but yeah. I needed that. It's
you saw gameplay of this then, huh?
And it's supposed to be one of the better games for the Gamecom.
Wow.
That's sad.
It includes 4 levels from each of the original 3 episodes for a total of 12 levels.
Gosh golly.
These were modified to accommodate Duke's inability to turn. So we had Fighters Megamix, classic Sega Saturn game. Pass. Frogger, fine. Any game that was made for like the Atari will do fine on a Gamecom.
Yeah, of course.
Is this the version of Frogger, though, where you're just a green X? Or are you an actual frog?
You are a frog-looking X.
You're a frog-looking X.
You're a rounded X.
You're a rounded X.
You're a circle with 4 little like things coming out of it.
Henry would be a matching game with sound effects. So you'd hear blood-curdling scream. You have to match the other blood-curdling scream. Sound was a big thing, apparently, for the Gamecom. It couldn't do multiple things at once, but the sounds it could make, people were impressed with.
So they only had one channel of sound.
It was very bad.
Okay.
Indy 500, the only racing game, terrible. Jeopardy, fine.
Sure.
Doesn't require a game.
I bet it gets really repetitive after a few rounds.
Yeah, I've seen this question before.
Yeah.
The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's got to be a banger.
Cool.
Players can choose to play as either Sarah Harding or Roland Tembo. No Ian Malcolm. We know you like Jeff Goldblum. You can't play as him.
Well, there's no way they were going to be able to afford the licensing for his likeness.
Well, they got the license for the movie. It's a side scroller with platforming, and there's also some driving levels. Very bad. Yes. Monopoly, by all accounts, it was serviceable. Mortal Kombat Trilogy boiled the game down to its most exciting characters from 37 down to 13. They didn't include Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
They didn't want to deal with projectiles, I don't think.
That causes me physical pain.
Well, no one likes those characters. They want to play as Nightwolf.
I don't. Yeah, Nightwolf. Nightwolf.
You see that vest? Love it.
He calls upon the spirits of his ancestors.
Release your animality. Your animality. Your animality.
Yeah.
Yes, supposed to be very bad. Quiz Whiz, Cyber Trivia. Fine.
Great.
Resident Evil 2. For the Gamecom, yes, indeed. Official review from IGN.com. There were no words at all. It just says 3 out of 10.
Wow.
Only Leon's story path. The entire game, there is a top, middle, and bottom part of the screen where you're either further or closer away, and you move left or right.
Wow, that looks bad.
It is known as one of the best games for the Gamecom.
Yeah, people are talking about it.
Speedrun world record of 23 minutes and 47 seconds. And the frame rate looks like it's about 2 frames per second. So good.
You said like a 1.5 by 2 inch screen?
Yep. Damn. Apparently it's got a lot though. Like it has the police station, it has the lab, it has like the parking garage. It has everything in it on 2 megabytes.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Gamecom. This is better than your idiot's brain cells.
Well, okay, so growing up, I had a bunch of Tiger games, but they were the Tiger games that you got that were like one and dones.
Yeah, like the...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had like a racer one that was pretty good. I believe I had a Power Rangers one.
I had the Power Rangers one.
I think I had a Power Rangers one.
Yeah, and they were all right. I can't speak to like what the quality is now, but I thought they were all right.
So this was Tiger's previous console here. This is the R Zone. This was made to compete with the Virtual Boy. I had this one, and I had the Gamecom as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I got them when they were super cheap, and it looked like it. I wasn't smart. I was a kid. The packaging said greatest console ever. I'm like, whoa.
Sold.
Mom.
You got it, Ma.
Very bad. This is essentially like those Tiger games, except a cartridge just plugs in there.
Oh.
And it puts it up on that screen. This one you actually wear on your head, the original R Zone, and you only have one eye that can see it.
Oh, so it like destroys your eyes.
Yep.
Which makes sense as to why you have glasses now.
Because of the Tiger R Zone.
Yep.
But I primarily use the XPG.
Oh, okay.
Thank God, am I right?
Why should you be blind as a bat?
Scrabble, fine. Sonic Jam. Sonic came to the Gamecom. Because these motherfuckers just paid for licenses and just ran away with them. Sonic Jam is, of course, a Saturn game. Probably your favorite one.
Tyler is
definitely my favorite.
It has Sonics 1 through 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. This one has Sonic 2, 3, and Knuckles, but only one zone for each game.
Wow.
Yep, they didn't put the whole game
They're
on.
just streamlining it.
They're like, we got rid of the fluff. You only want to play Mushroom Hill Zone.
Well, the truth is that in most Sonic games, the first level is just the best, and then everything else is kind of awful.
Yeah. Those casino zones make me nauseous even thinking about them.
The only time they've ever worked is in Sonic Mania.
And that's why the Gamecom version is probably the best.
Yeah.
Knuckles cannot glide, which that move sucks anyways. Tails can fly, though. This is the first Sonic game released on a non-Sega console, and the only Sonic game in monochrome. So more perks for the Gamecom. There was the Tiger Casino, Wheel of Fortune 1, Wheel of Fortune 2, nice. And Williams Arcade Classics, which had like Defender, Defender 2, Joust, Robotron, and Sinistar. Fine.
Hey, that's acceptable.
Those were the 21 games released for the Gamecom. There were some canceled games, a fair amount. We're just going to mention a couple. Metal Gear Solid.
Wow.
I don't think Kojima was involved.
A top-down one, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Madden 98.
I was going to say Madden 98.
Yeah.
I was definitely going to say that because I had that game. Was it Madden 98 or 2000? Never mind. Keep going.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
Sonic 3D Blast.
Oh, wow. That would have been awful looking.
That would have been great.
3D or attempt? Oh, okay.
Small Soldiers.
Sure.
Like the movie?
Commander Chip Hazard reporting for duty, sir.
God, I love that movie.
Great movie.
I do too.
How they got Led Zeppelin in the soundtrack, I still don't understand.
Yeah, that was when Led Zeppelin was not giving that shit away.
Yeah. WCW Whiplash, Turok Dinosaur Hunter, and the last one, the one I would be most curious to see, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, was originally coming to Gamecom.
Wowie.
Wowie zowie. Wowie.
Can you just imagine like all the action of that game, but just zoomed into Alucard, and maybe you get like 3 pixels of notice when a monster's coming at you?
And just imagine the Michiru Yamane amazing soundtrack coming through the Gamecom's one channel of 0 sounds. With the sound effects, you want those too, so you can't have both.
You got to pick your poison.
Surprisingly, the Gamecom didn't sell well. Poor sales led to them to make the Gamecom Pocket Pro. This came out later, $19.99 in June. This was only $30.
Whoa.
It didn't do well either, but it came in 5 different colors and required only 2 AA's. Still not in? Okay.
Still not in? Okay.
Discontinued in 2000 due to poor sales. The death of the Gamecom. It sold less than 300,000 units altogether.
Wow, that is abysmal. The fact that they even made like a slimmed down version of it
was surprising.
Were they still able to make a profit off of this thing? Licensing alone.
Yeah, the amount of money they spent just to get Mortal Kombat or Resident Evil or any of that It's amazing. And
sounds like a lot of people who didn't actually know what video games are.
And that's who they're aiming for. Parents who don't know what they're buying for their kids, and they're trying to hit a price point. And catering maybe to adult gamers a little bit, too.
I had a weird VHS of Pocahontas once, but it was not regular Pocahontas. Disney Pocahontas. It was something else. And she's like, you rented this one, right? I'm like, oh, boy, they got you. They fucking got you. I remember even as a kid, I'm like, they got you. They got you, Grandma.
Yeah. You watched it for 2 seconds, and you said...
Actually, it was kind of trippy and fun. But
yeah.
That's fine.
Mel Gibson still on that one?
Sure.
Yeah. Despite there being internet connectivity, no games ever utilized the online multiplayer that they talked about.
Oh, they're planning for the future on that bad boy.
It might still be coming, but that's the Gamescom. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm sure you're the only one who's ever talked about it, so I guess it makes sense.
Some YouTubers that are bored and like to punish themselves did as well. I watched their videos.
It is remarkably bad.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by this point in history because it's still in this era where like extremism and like cool dude, like, you know, like X Games type stuff was still like the best things around for anyone in like the modern culture. And it's funny to me that a bunch of stuffy boardroom weirdos probably got together at Tiger Electronics and were like, you know, games, they're like toys. Who cares about the quality? Just push it out. You know, the kids will fall for it because their other stuff was probably selling pretty good at this point too. If I'm any indicator, because I would have my mom at the grocery store buy the stupid Tiger toys.
Problem is though, those could be made very fast. Whereas these
Fast and
games,
cheap.
They were required to actually kind of make a game.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. Like at this point, people would have been well and truly ingratiated into the idea like, man, I've played like Super Metroid, Super Mario World. There's actually depth and quality to video games now.
Yeah, you're not just going to be able to skate by with like, hey, look at this bullshit we put out. Please buy it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
idiots.
This almost feels like a relic from the Atari era, but made 20 years too late.
Yeah, and it got made.
It did.
This exists. You can buy the entire library. It's only 20 cartridges.
Yeah.
You can probably find it for not too much. If you find a modem, that might be worth more. I don't know.
Honestly, I would own this. It'd be funny.
I'm just going to play one bit of Gamescom music for you. Here's stage theme 1 from Sonic Jam.
It is really one channel of sound.
Could you imagine being a parent on like a 6-hour road trip and that's all you can hear from the back seat?
For the love of God, turn it down!
My mom would be turn that shit down.
I'd feel worse giving my kids headphones just knowing that your kid is getting fed that garbage. I would throw that shit out the window pretty fast.
Like it's really funny. We're like if we ever have the great burden of having children, we would know if our kid's getting something good. Like, I think that's the greatest value of us as individuals.
Yeah.
We would know if we're giving our kids crap or if they're getting something good.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd still want the crap, though, if you literally told them, no, that's stupid, you get this instead?
If you say play this, they will inevitably play Fortnite and ask for money to buy DLC for it.
Sure. V-Bucks.
Yeah. Right. Whatever you say is cool is what they will probably run away from.
Yeah, sure.
Like, my parents talked about sobriety. Goodbye.
It's for the birds, Mom.
Yeah.
My mom taught the value of hard work.
You work very hard.
Sure.
Yes. Here at the Dogcast, we exist because of people like you. So thanks for listening. If you have a chance to write a review or leave a like on whatever thing you like or you listen on, we would appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. If you've listened this far, that means we're doing something not wrong. If you have questions or thoughts about the Gamescom or Gamescom and anything else, reach out to us on Instagram at Hair the Dogcast, on Twitter at Hot Dogcast, and email us at hairthedogcast@gmail.com for access to all of our podcasts early, as well as exclusive episodes. Check out patreon.com/hairthedogcast. Big thanks to executive producers Ryan Christianick, Tyler Keller, Kip, Brian Ward, and Katie Bone. We are part of the HyperX Podcast Network. For more information, check out podcast.hyperx.com. Upcoming episode topic. I think the next episode after this that's getting released will be Raw Dogs, our Kalid episode. So, yes, bring your preserving boluses if you got them. And one for the road. Anyone have any recommendations before we get out of this turkey?
Geez. Westworld, season 3 specifically. Very good.
Is that the newest one?
Are you on?
Season 4 is the newest one.
Are you on season 4 yet?
I am. I have not finished it. I'm doing a rewatch with the girlfriend, so
I'm on episode 2.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it though.
I am. I'm into it. I say keep doing something different. So yeah, I would say Westworld. Season 3 gets this really kind of it really pulls that show out of a dovetail.
Yeah, I feel like the first season was tremendous. The second season they tried to outsmart the Redditors. Yeah. And the show suffered. And then season 3 is a nice breath of fresh air, setting up a new storyline and moving the show forward at a pretty good pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started watching that too. I was actually going to... Normally I say an HBO show 9 times out of 10, so that was going to be mine.
Shit. I would also recommend The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder, the guy who did Nathan For You. It is really good, kind of psychotic. And it is exactly Dylan's sense of humor. If you wanted to know what that actually was in like TV form, shit that makes me laugh out loud every single moment. It's called The Rehearsal. I would maybe watch Nathan For You first to kind of get an idea of what this comedian is, but it's my favorite comedian of all time. So
I do like Nathan For You.
Yeah, you'll like
I haven't
The
seen
Rehearsal.
it in a while.
It's really scary actually at some points. You're like, what is going on?
One for the road, I would say Westworld 2. Otherwise, if you haven't played the South Park games, they are phenomenal. Especially if you like South Park, like Brad said, it's basically almost a whole season jam-packed.
It is a season's worth of writing.
It is it took me several hours to beat, so it is like a full season. I had a lot of fun with them. I would say check both those games out if you haven't, especially since they announced there will be a third game soon.
Wow, okay.
So...
that last one didn't sell as much, so I'm surprised.
I'm psyched for it. So I just want some Taggarty Farms in the next one.
Taggarty Farms. My one for the road. I've been thinking about George R.R. Martin lately, so I'm going to recommend one of his novels, and not from A Song of Ice and Fire. I recommend the book Fever Dream. If you are unfamiliar with it, it's one of my favorite novels of all time. It's about New Orleans and steamboats and vampires.
Oh,
it's
cool.
Gothic horror, and it is great. Your protagonist, like some big old fat dude. He's not a young, sexy guy. It's just some old guy named I forget his name. It's some like Aberforth or something. But it's great. Like the visualization that
Jeff Reginald Mockingbird.
I'm Jeffrey Mockingbird.
J.R.
But no,
is
like
this him. It's like his self-insert character.
Imagine the detail that
God, he fucks.
Martin brings to like just talking about food. This is him talking about riverboats and just lavish, over the top. And it's vampires. I love Gothic horror, so definitely recommend Fever Dream.
Does everybody's name start with the same letter?
Godric does, and so does Godwin and Godefroy. But America is with an M.
Okay.
Cool, dude.
Yeah. And that's my recommendation.
Dope.
So we're going to be...
Fever Dream, I'll try it.
Yeah, we'll be back for Doggies After Dark. Have a quick Doggies After Dark. And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, dude.
Later.
Gamescom.
Games.com.
Game.com.
All right, real quick, Doggies After Dark.
Class is back in session, and HyperX has the grade A gear you need for dorm life, remote classes, and for schooling folks online. Shop the HyperX back-to-school deals going on at HyperX.com to help make your return to student life a breeze. Comfortable cloud headsets can help keep you focused in as you cram for finals with some lo-fi beats and stay productive with lightweight Pulsefire mice, responsive alloy keyboards, and more. Keep your GPA and your KDA high with HyperX products and accessories.